The beauty of our shop is we're time and material. It's going to be 10,000. There's none of that. It's every hour, every part, every piece of material is all accounted for. We wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for my wife, because she is like, she actually runs the restoration side. I still do just the interior side. She has all the hard work.
She's the brains.
I always joke around. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do the restoration side because on the interior side, I got a lot of time to smoke cigars and drink bourbon. I was like, don't cut into my cigar time.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burn Down Podcast. I'm Eric. This is Justin, and we have a special guest in the studio today.
Drove a long way for this.
Florida, New York.
And we appreciate that.
Which we love. I mean, he made a business day out of it, business trip out of it, so it wasn't, you know.
I'm actually glad that you said that because I was like, you came all the way down just for us? It's like, please tell me you're doing some other things.
That's like a 2.5 hour drive, right? Yeah. Give or take with no traffic.
It's an hour in part of New York, and then once you get to Long Island, that's where you add the other two.
Yeah.
It should only be an hour and a half.
It should. But that guest is Gil Monge, GCD Auto Studio, the owner, restoration of classic cars, high-end vehicles, some really nice ones. He did one for Robert Downey Jr. and on the TV show For the Love of the Rides.
Married to the Rides.
Married to the Rides.
I knew he was going to miss it.
Married to the Rides on my bad. See, I told you. Not bad. I only messed up once.
You messed up once.
Gil, what's up, brother? Thank you for coming on the Burn Down Podcast.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Of course, brother. I mean,
were we allowed to say Robert Downey Jr.? Are we going to get...
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over YouTube and Instagram.
It was an HBO show, so it's...
Okay, so it's public now.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, you know.
And it was like crazy car, and you called it a mushroom interior.
Yep, mushroom interior.
I never heard of a color.
We'll have Nick put the
clip in.
Yeah,
but
the clip.
But it's you call it the color.
They refer to it as Forja hides.
Forja hides.
Yeah,
so for people that haven't seen, remind us, what kind of car was it?
So the one car we did was a 1965 Chevy Corvette convertible. Damn. And it came to the shop. It was
Is that a Stingray or?
It's Stingray.
Yeah.
So it came in. It was hunter green with a tan interior. We changed it to a matte dark blue. So all the cars were done in a matte color, and then that's when we did the mushroom interior. We actually wound up doing two full builds for Robert. So it was the Corvette, and then there was an 85 El Camino that was a big wheels on it, lifted with solar panel and electric
He lifted
bikes.
it with
Yeah.
gosh.
They call that a slab down in Texas.
Yeah.
But it had these e-bikes in the bed, and it ran on one of these like modern 8-cylinder, 4-cylinder flex motors, Chevy motors.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. So the whole premise was
So
we were
hold on,
going to
so
take
it
these
was
classics and make them more
Classier.
make them more sustainable
Oh,
and more
okay.
environmental.
So wait, what's this 8-cylinder, 4-cylinder?
So when you're driving around town, it's 8, but when you get on the highway, it drops to 4.
Oh,
more
okay. So
efficient.
like if you punch it,
Yeah.
it'll go 8,
Yeah.
but then if you're cruising, it's 4. Oh.
Because now I remember watching the episode with Robert Downey Jr. He's talking about the leathers being economically friendly, right, and stuff like that. So that makes more sense now because I was like, what is he talking about? I didn't know you can make economically friendly leather.
Yeah.
See, I would just want it at 8 cylinders all day long. Just give me like a supercharged V8 all day long.
Well, the Corvette was electric.
It was electric?
It was full electric.
Wait, the 1964?
65 Corvette was
He
all
made that
electric.
full electric?
Yeah, it was all electric.
Holy crap.
All right, I'm sorry. That's not right. I know he's a customer, and I know you're just doing business, and you do what the customer wants. Yeah. But, Robert, come on, man. You took a classic, and you made it electric.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Well, the beauty of it was all the work that was done to put the motor in could be undone. So there was nothing cut up. So you can take the original 327 and put it back in, and it's all original.
Wow.
But I feel like, come on, man.
Yeah.
What was it, 64 you said?
65.
65 Vet Stingray. Like, you take out that engine? I feel like when you sit in that, you want to turn it on. You want to feel it.
No, that's like that's like a woman that's well endowed and she gets a boob reduction. You're like, you're slapping God in the face for doing that.
Did you hear that?
Come on, what are you doing?
Well, you look at the new Charger, right? It's electric, but then you can have the fake sound, and it's
So it doesn't have the same purr. I'm
It's not
assuming, right?
there's no purr.
Yeah.
It's not the same, man.
Yeah,
There's a video I sent to my buddy because I told you before, it's my buddy Joe's going to love this episode because he's a big gearhead. He knows a ton about. You guys would have an awesome conversation. But I sent him a video, and it said it was like me. It was like a meme of a guy saying, "This is looking for the looking for the horsepower, right? Like when you get the new car and you doesn't have the same horsepower, these new electric cars, and the guy's sitting there and he's just like, he's in a car and he's driving one of these electric cars and he punches it and it just goes like, and he's sitting there and he's like, he looks at the camera, he's like, I'm looking for the like I'm looking for the, where is it?
Yeah.
And he's just like, I sent to my buddy, I said, this is you, and he's like, I'm looking for the, that he can't get it out of his
It's not the same.
He goes, it's not the same.
On a personal standpoint, do you like how do you feel between electric and all American muscle?
Well, American Muscle is the way to go. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
so, yeah.
just, I mean, as far as like, I'm past the like carbureted motor, so I appreciate the fuel injection. So if you have a GM product and you put an LS in it, perfectly fine. Ford, you can put a Coyote. Mopar, you can put the 392 Hemi. There's no reason to have a carbureted motor unless it's all original and you want to keep it that way. But the electric, I get it, and the way I look at it goes, well, it just brings a newer audience into it, like
Yeah, I
like,
get you.
worried about the environment, who want to enjoy a classic car. No issue with that. But from the perspective of electric vehicles, I don't think we're there, like structurally, or like I don't think the grid's there.
I mean, look at California.
Yeah.
What happens all the
Yeah.
time? Come on.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, what's involved in mining the batteries?
Yes.
Well, that's the
and
other thing too. Is it's like,
factories
I want to be conscious of the environment, but I don't care that there's little kids mining cadmium and to get my battery. Okay, I don't give a shit about that.
I mean, there's a great episode on Joe Rogan. I forgot the guy's name who does it or who did the research, but he talks about mining all the what's
cobalt, cadmium,
and where is it?
nickel.
Where was it? I forgot what country. It's a popular like name.
The Congo.
The Congo. Yes, thank you. Fucking awesome. In the Congo, and he shows a video of just like thousands of people like all butted against each other. You just hear
Mines,
ding, 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 like it's the freaking 1800s, and all the big corporations say like we're all about economically friendly and none of this stuff, blah blah blah, and then
like
the supply chain. That's
like
what
you had
happens.
said. Listen, I get it. If that's your bag and you like the electric cars, great. They're fast. A Tesla is wicked fast. Don't get me wrong. I've been in it and they punched it and it's fast. Okay. Just not the same. It's not as fun to drive.
There's no rumbling between the plums.
And there's no stick shift. I want to change gears. That's fun. That's the fun part of driving. You come over the top of a hill, right, and you're rolling down. You downshift and punch it on the bottom, and just like that's the fun of the drive. But if you're just sitting there like,
you can adjust the radio.
I know, right?
Just go to YouTube and just get the motor sounds.
Think about how much other stuff you can do.
I know. You don't even have to drive. You can put auto drive and just
there you go.
play video games.
You could
Read a book.
But
so let's take it back real quick. How did you start? Because I know you were saying before you were into marketing. Like, how did you get into cars, owning your own auto studio, and having your own TV show and whatnot? Where did that lead up to?
So about 2006. We had this idea, and my first iteration of it was with my brother. Didn't work out so well. And then I met my wife, and we were talking about it, and I figured, you know what? Because the marketing thing was kind of taking a downward angle going because, the housing bubble was about to burst, and, they were offering...
This was 2006, you said?
6 into 7, so 8 was the whole thing.
Right before it.
Okay. And you and your brother had this idea... Where you are now originally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And did you get a sense, like you kind of have a feeling that this like something was about to, like this bubble was about to pop?
Well, yeah, there was a interesting question during one of the meetings, and they were talking about growth year over year, and then the question was, what about same store sales? Take out the acquisitions, and if you just looked at the exact places, the exact offices year over year, how did they do? And there was a huge drop. So you saw growth, but it was because you were buying other companies.
And not
So that was kind of the writing on the wall.
So you weren't really growing. You were acquiring new. Yeah.
And they were offering buyouts, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna take it because I know the first offer is the best offer, and it wound up being like 104 weeks.
Paid.
Yeah. So it became. It was like
So
a
basically
that's 2 years.
Basically gave you 2 years
it's a
to
safety net. And I was
go-
like, you know what? Let me go for it. And
Fuck
then,
yeah, man.
hell yeah.
You know, we started off as just an interior shop.
Did it come all at once?
No, I was paid every week.
So it was
2
like
years, yeah.
So you had
you were like
you had a no-show job.
So you basically had a 2-year vacation.
Yeah. Well,
Paid
no, because I
vacation.
didn't build a business.
No, I know, but like they were basically offering like, hey, listen, here's 2 years pay, and you're like,
That's
now,
crazy.
great. Now I can take all this time and do something.
Go for it, see what happens. And then my wife and I found a shop. The original, like when we first started, it was like right across the street from our house. It was an old Studebaker garage, and you don't want to shop across the street from your house because everybody goes to the shop, it's closed, and they look, oh, his car's in the garage in the driveway. So
Yo, I need my oil changed.
Yo, listen, you got 20 minutes?
So we found this space in like the city of Middletown in the back of a warehouse, and it was kind of sketchy, but it did the trick. You know, we grew a couple of people, and
Was it like an existing garage, or was it just a warehouse?
Garage. It was a garage, I guess. There was a lift in it. And there was oil on the floor. I guess you.
All right,
qualifies.
Well, no, it's about because if it's completely blank, then it's like, all right, well now I gotta add all these things. But if it had a lift, because then you could kind of, all right, it's already got some of the stuff maybe.
Yeah, so we started off just interiors, and we were just doing interiors, and then we said, you know what, I want to do this. We're gonna mail out these things, and my wife Linda, she was like, all right, let's just do it. Let's send it out, and I just sent these mailers out, and I got one client that I've been with for almost 20 years now.
Wow.
On a $3 mailer, and then we just
Those things work.
Yeah.
because the approach was having the marketing background helped because I'm like, why am I gonna chase 10 separate clients to get 10 jobs? I'm going to go to the guys who are building cars. So if I can get in, let's say you're a manager of a shop and you have 6 builds a year and you and I connect, then I just deal with you and I get 6 jobs. And then I go to you, you got 6 jobs going. And now I'm like, between 2 shops, I got 12 jobs.
You get one guy who's like, if he's trying to build the whole car, and he'd be like, hey, listen, I'll be your interior guy, right? So anytime you're building something, come to me. And then... yeah, then you get repeat customers, and all from a mailer, right? You got a little...
it was just simple thing like that.
And how much did that mailer cost you? Probably like a couple $100.
$3.
A couple $100, but each one was $3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it cost you a couple $100 to mail these all out.
Yeah.
And then you get one client. It's like bang.
I think we wound up getting like connected to 4 different shops, and one we're still with. And
So
talk
how does
about
that
the
work?
return on investment there.
So you hook up with a shop, and how does that help you?
So they're building multiple cars. So back then we were just doing interiors. So that shop has 6 different clients that they're building different projects for, and they go, oh, when it comes to the interior, we have a guy.
Like they sub the work out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sub the work. So now I'm dealing with you. I don't have to deal with the client. I don't have to deal with getting paid.
Now, did you do just like the fabrics, or did you do electronics interior as well?
So we would do, sound systems, the convertible tops, the whole full interior. So we kind of stick to that, everything inside the car.
Everything inside.
So how do you feel about Pimp My Ride?
It's entertaining.
It was all fake anyway, but
yeah. And
remember the one when they put a TV in the rim of the tire? Do you remember that one?
Of course. Or they put a
It's like,
they put
why?
a CAT scan in one of the cars.
Yeah, it's like why? But they did it because
the whole kitchen
for the show.
Right?
Because around the same time
was
as 2006 ish, that was like around the time Pimp My Ride was
that
out.
was great.
And all those shows did good. I mean, it just brought custom cars to the forefront. So, I don't look at any of them like negatively. I think it helped as an industry grow. Especially American Chopper. American Chopper.
Yeah, I love that. It was a good show.
Guys were turning wrenches, building stuff. It was on Discovery. It was a big deal, and that helped a lot.
And you know what? People like...
And you're in Orange County, New York, and that was Orange County, California.
No, it was Orange County, New York.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. You can drive past the building. Yeah.
Newburgh, yeah.
Yeah, you can drive
It's
right
in
past...
Newburgh?
Yeah. Drive right past the building.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was in New
Yeah, the
York.
big bike on the yeah.
It's a storage facility now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
It
shit.
said OCC and it had the bike right on the
I always thought it was California because it was on a TV, and I was like, no one
Yeah.
wants to go to Orange County, New York.
But
Wow.
you know what's good is that people like those shows because it's kind of DIY-esque. You know what I'm saying? People love DIY. People love watching DIY stuff, and they always have ideas of, I'm going to do that with my house. So they love watching people build stuff.
Yeah.
But, you want to open up the... well, you can open up that, too. Pull the... It was just to cool it off a little bit. We can get some circulation. People love watching DIY stuff, right? And if anybody... Like, YouTube is kind of the new Google. So if somebody wants to learn how to do something, they go on YouTube and they type in, how do I do this? And they learn the DIY. Oh, this is... Somebody's doing it themselves. and they learn how to change the oil, or they learn how to replace an air filter, they learn how to change a tire, all these little things. So when people see shows like that of people building stuff from scratch, they love it because they go, "Oh wait, I could do that. I'm gonna build I'm gonna try to build an engine now." Now, obviously, it's gonna take many years to learn how to build an engine.
It could work the other way too.
But
you could break everything.
I remember one time we were like, early on, we were working on this VW Bug, older one, the top, and we're trying to get the back. It's a convertible, so we're getting the back glass in, which is a pain in the butt, and so we try and I'm like, I'm gonna go on YouTube. I'm gonna watch this video. So now there's this older gentleman and his son. They're working on it. I'm like, they're going through all the steps.
I could do that.
This seems legit. Okay. So they get to the window part. I'm like, now I'm like 25 minutes invested.
And they skip that part.
No, he gets to it, and he's like, well, we tried 3 times and we couldn't get in, so we gave up. And I'm like, no.
You're like, no. So now you have to be like,
I should have skipped it again.
Back button, and then you gotta search again.
Now you gotta go in the comment section. I wasted 3 hours of my time watching this.
So
That's
YouTube
hilarious.
could help or it could not help. So.
Wow.
So, okay, so then you found this this shop with your wife. You started this. You started GCD.
Just interiors. Oh, we started, which GCD stands for Gillin Custom Design, and Gillin is Gil and Linda, so Gillin.
I like that.
The middle, when you have the ILLI, is a Jeep logo, so it looks like a Jeep grill. So.
Oh, well, I love Jeeps.
Jay, I like that.
I love Jeeps. Yeah. Jeeps are one of my favorite cars. I love them. Okay, so you got you sent out these mailers. You got a couple of, and then how did you go from doing just interiors to saying, all right, now I'm going to do the whole.
Yeah. So
the whole thing.
The next step was I realized being in the location we were in, we weren't getting a certain clientele, so I had to move the shop. So we found this beautiful shop
that
like
must have
10
been
minutes away. So we moved everything, and then we rented out half the shop to another company that did powder coating, and then we had the interior side on the other side. And then over time, probably like 5 years ago, the clients kept saying, 6 years ago, hey, it'd be great if I just dropped my car off in one spot. I don't like my car going here to the paint shop, here to the mechanic, here to the interior. And they were like, if we can just drop it off in one spot, it would help. And then that's
an
where the
idea
whole
was
thing,
born.
Yeah, we're like, let's go for it.
Now, did you have experience building cars like as a kid?
Absolutely not.
Really?
So yeah, we didn't even ask that. How did you get into cars?
Because I was going to ask. Going from the interiors is one thing, but because when I was big into electronics, so like I could do all the electronics in the car, rewired, sound systems and all that stuff. When it comes to the engine, it's a totally different thing. Yeah. I'm not an engine guy. I was the electronics guy. You want me to put lights and all this? You want me to do the dashboard? You do all that stuff, but then the engine's totally different. So going from interiors to now building engines, how was that? Like, how did you learn how to do that?
Well, just getting into the interior part, because I don't do any of the interior work as well. So, I mean, again, having the marketing background, I looked at the auto industry logistically. I'm like, well, there's tons of mechanic shops. There's tons of paint shops. And then there's interior shops. And typically an interior shop is one guy working out of his garage. And I'm like, well, if he's out there trying to get work, he's not doing the work. If he's in the shop doing the work, he's not getting more work. So my idea was I'm going to start a shop, and I'm going to go around to guys that are just tired of dealing with clients, and I'm going to bring them in, and I will get the business. So I always say my job's to get the car in, their job's to get the car out. So that's a good there's such a business opportunity with interiors because there's only a handful. I mean, think about it. How many guys can put convertibles or do seats? I mean, but you can name 10 garage shops.
Right. So you told these guys, listen, I'll get you the business. You just, I know you want more business and you can't get it because you're doing what you're currently doing.
Just work out of my shop.
You come to my shop.
Yeah.
You can do what you're doing.
Paycheck every week.
Get paid, but I'll get you more business. Yeah. So continue doing what you love to do and just let me market you.
So you just basically cherry-picked employees.
Yep.
Specialty employees and knew what they were doing, and then you're like, I'm just going to be a one-stop shop.
And then
that's awesome.
Then once going into the full build same approach. We just went out and got the best talent available and started, going out there soliciting the different projects. And our first project with GCD was for Clemson Brewery in Middletown, New York. So it was a 1953 GMC truck. It was original restoration.
That's on your T-shirt.
Yep.
Oh yeah, let me pull it out. Hold on.
Yeah, pull it out, son.
Pull them out. Let them see it.
Look at that bad boy.
People, there's the camera right there. Look at that.
So that was our first build at GCD.
How long did that take you?
Like 2 years.
This is such a sweet, like, these classic cars, they don't make them like this anymore, man.
Awesome.
They don't make cars like that anymore.
Now, how long did it take you to understand, like, the amount of hours it goes into it, the amount of material, what the cost of materials, what your cost is? Like, did it take a while to kind of...
I think you still learn every day.
Yeah.
The beauty of our shop is we're time and material, so T&M. There's no, it's going to be 10,000. There's none of that. It's every hour, every part, every piece of material is all accounted for.
So there's no hidden fees. There's no nothing. It's like, hey, listen,
No,
you come in here, this is what it costs for materials, and this is how long it took me to do it.
Yeah, because some guys will go, oh, it's 25,000, and then you wind up subsidizing somebody else's build, And it's
Yeah.
like,
It's like, no.
It's every hour and it is accounted for. It's definitely organized, and I gotta say, like, from I'm like really creative and stuff with the design and doing all that. So from the business sense, we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for my wife, because she is like, she actually runs the restoration side. I still do the interior side.
So you're like, yeah. So
she has all the hard work.
She's the brains.
So she's the numbers side of the things, and you're like the
she's the business sense, and then she just keeps that ship going straight. And like I always joke around, I'm like, I don't want to do the restoration side because on the interior side, I got a lot of time to smoke cigars and drink bourbon. I was like, don't cut into my cigar time.
That's funny because that's like, there's always in every company there's those two sides of it, right? Like I always say that there's the like in our industry, I'm in the semiconductor industry, and there's the engineers, the people that like build it, and then there's like the marketing team that sell it, right? And it's always the battle between the marketing team's like, oh, we got let's do this, and this, let's put all this, and the engineering team's like, we can't do that, like it's just not happening. So it's like there's like this battle, like I want to do all of this, look, we can design it this way, and your wife's like, honey, like we can't do that, like we got to do it. And then she's like, well, we have to do this, and she's like, yeah, but let's do this. It's like this balance of I want to do all of this design, but it's got to make business sense on this side, right?
Yeah, if you watch the show and stuff, the intro is like, I'm the dreamer, and she's like, I'm the realist. It's like, and that's the battle every day.
But you have
all these big ideas, and
that's
it's
a good
like,
balance, though.
She's got to pull me back in.
You have to balance it because, if you have two on the bottom, then you'll never get up to the potential. And then if you have two up here, it's like you might go bankrupt because you're just trying to put all these. So you have to have the balance where like, this is everything I want to do. It's like, this is the bare, let's meet
in the middle.
And then, that's what makes it successful.
So
you have the yin and yangs.
I don't think we touched on it. I know we asked you, but how did you go from I want to do cars, go from marketing and real estate, like all of a sudden I just want to jump into something? Like,
we talked about how you left the marketing because they gave you this severance package. You're like, oh, I'm going to start something, but why cars?
I grew up around cars. Like I'm the youngest of 4 boys, so my older brothers always had cars, and they were into the muscle cars. And the brother I started the first shop with was into cars, so it just kind of, naturally went that direction. But from a marketing perspective, it could have been anything. It could have been T-shirts. It could have been hamburgers. I don't know. It could have been.
You were just like, I got to start something.
Yeah, I was looking to build a brand. That was my first initial intention. Was I just want to build a brand. I didn't know if it was going to be beer, it could be whiskey, it could be,
Still could be.
Still
could. Might be another option.
Yeah. Just, I think you want to hit a cigar. It looks like it's canoeing a little bit. Hit that cigar. But that's why, to kind of enter into a industry where you really don't know. It takes a lot of guts to do that.
I was gonna say, yeah, and
maybe it's a nice little touch that you had 2 years severance. I can fucking figure it out, getting paid.
I think having the marketing background, it's like basically like, what do you get paid to do? I get paid to convince people they need something they really don't need. That's marketing in general, right? Just get. And then when you're building the cars you're building, like,
let's be honest, nobody really needs that. Like, does Robert Downey Jr. really need that electric Corvette? Probably not. He just needs a car to go A from B, but people want it.
And that's part of the conversation we have with people is like, we provide wants, not needs. No one needs to do this. You want to do this. And in life, wants cost more than needs.
I was just going to say, but now you can charge more money.
And now you got to a certain point, obviously doing for almost over 20 years, where you have certain base points, like you were telling me earlier, like interiors. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about pricing.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So like you were telling me before, for just an interior job now, it's minimum 25 grand.
25 we start at, yeah.
It's you said something funny, like someone's like, "Can you work on the price?" And you're like, "I could do it for 30 grand." And he's like, "What? Yeah, for me, I could do better. I can't do better for you. It's 25 grand." And then
Can you do a better
full-blown
price?
restorations are 250.
250.
Okay.
Full blown restoration.
Yeah.
250 minimum. Okay.
Now, does it have to? Can it be? It can be any car.
Any car.
Just the price point has to be there.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, like right now in the shop, we have a 55 Chevy hardtop with a full custom chassis. We have 66 Pontiac Tempest. We have an 83 Porsche.
Wow.
We have an 85 Toyota Land Cruiser with an LS motor in it.
Those things run forever. Okay.
Are those
Well,
like
this
the
one's
kind
got a brand new motor in
Because so my roommate in college had a Land. I don't remember the year, but he had a Land Cruiser, and he ran this, and he kept up on the engines, and it was a straight six that he had. He was a straight six.
Those would kind of look like the safari cars.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, they call it FJ62s.
And this thing, dude, when he finally got rid of it, had 360,000 miles on the car. I go, dude, because when you're going, you never hear anything in the hundreds, 150. When you're approaching 2, you're like, all right, it's time to get a new car. Like that's what you always heard.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but that's what I always heard.
Sure.
Right? You get up there in the high hundreds, it's like he had well past that, 200 into the 3s and approaching 4. Like, is that even possible?
Yeah, well, this one was nice and clean, and now it's got a brand new, GM LS motor in it. It's got custom suspension on it, so it's a resto mod.
Is that so? Do you think you do more resto mods than full restorations?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're known for resto mods. I mean, which was kind of funny when we started the company. We were like, we're just gonna do some really cool custom cars, and like the first 2 jobs were restoration. It was that GMC truck, and then the next one was a Volkswagen Beetle. I'm like, no, this is not what I
want to do some other stuff in it.
So the difference between a full blown restoration and a restoration mod is what?
So a restoration will be done back to original specs using original parts, and it'd look.
Like all the same serial numbers, like he was saying before.
Yeah, numbers matching,
Okay.
and it'd be back to the original condition of the car. The resto mod is we have more liberties as far as the drivetrain, the motor, the trans, the wheels, the brakes. Some of these
They
cars,
kind of take the older car and put a lot of the new age stuff in it.
Like this
Whereas the full resto is just back to the.
Robert Downey Jr.'s electric 1965 Corvette.
Okay, now let me ask you this question: what's more valuable, a full resto or a resto mod?
It depends, right? So some vehicles are more desirable restored. So like if you had a rare Corvette or a Chevelle with a 427 motor in it, like if you had something that, or like a lot of the Mopars, when you get into 1 of 1 or 1 of 4, and so when you start getting into those rare cars, obviously restored it has the value. I think what resto mods gives you is a broader audience, because we got to think about it. Today's buyer or client, they're driving around in these brand new cars.
Yeah, and they want the safety
They
aspect
want
of a lot
to
of
feel a certain thing. You can't put them in a 1955 Chevy with 1955 steering and drum brakes. It's just not going to be.
There's
an
no power
enjoyable
steering in
experience,
those, is there?
No, it's just like
what's the suspension like? You hit a bump and the whole fucking axle might pull apart with the potholes here in New York.
Yeah,
you can't drive one of those.
Yeah, so that's why when you put the brand new chassis underneath 6-piston caliper brakes and modern transmissions, modern motors, because the other challenge is these guys will drive the car once, park it, and then go to start it 3-4 months later, and with the old carburetors, it'd get gummed up and it wouldn't start, it'd stall. And
those are the ones like where you said, "Oh, I have to go start my car." Like nowadays, in the cold, you don't really have to start it. It's fine, turn the key. But
or
those,
just push the button because we do.
You gotta go start them. Like you can't let them sit more than a week without starting them.
Are there any cars that you don't like to work on, or like, I hate this fucking car?
I think in the shop, Porsche is the biggest pain because of all the complicated wiring, and it's just becomes more like tedious.
Do you think the size of it too? Like the engine bay is so much smaller now.
It's smaller, and I think it's just the way it's built. It's probably over-engineered. versus a '69 Camaro, where it's very straightforward.
I think I might have mentioned this on the show once before, but I have this. I don't know if it's a theory, but my opinion on why you don't see back in the 70s and 80s, you see a lot of people would tinker with their cars. They always have their car in the garage. They'd be working on their cars. They'd be trying to do this. Nowadays, you don't really see a whole lot of that anymore.
Yeah.
And I think one of the reasons being is those older cars, it was so much easier to work on them because there's so much room in the engine bay. But now everything is jam-packed. And, like, if I want to change a spark plug, you got to take out, like, the whole top half of the engine to get to a spark plug. It's like nobody wants to do that anymore. It's just too complicated. They just throw it into the shop, say, you change it, and then come back.
I pat myself on the back when, like, a fuse blows, and I figure out the fuse box. I'm like, oh, there's an extra fuse. And like, the cigar lighter works again. I'm like, perfect. I'm a mechanic. I know what I'm doing. I just
remember, it's trying to change. Like, if I want to change the headlight, I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, 2014. To change the headlight, they said, oh, just go through the wheel well. But they give you an opening like the size of this coffee. I'm like, how the heck? And you have to
get the bulb in
I go,
there.
how? You know how many times I try? I'm like, how do I? You
doing
can't
sign
do it.
language?
I said, you have to have like a 5-year-old's hand to try to get in there.
Yeah, because they want you to bring it to the dealership.
Yeah,
of course,
I take the whole headlight off. Yeah. I just take the you have to take the battery, like move it over and take a couple bolts, pull it out, put the new one in. But I go. But they say, oh, it's easy. Just go through the wheel well. No, it's not easy. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the older cars, it was simple, right?
It was.
You need fuel, you need air, and you need spark. That's it. New cars, it's like this relay and that sensor and all these computers. I mean, it's a little complicated. You know?
It's a lot complicated.
And do you get, and I'm assuming it's based on the car, but do you order parts from all over the world, or is there? Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, the American vehicles we can get.
Do you hire Dominic Toretto to jack some truck on the way?
No. But I will say, during COVID, the challenge was the supply chain. Getting parts and getting, like, so many shops went out of business, and so it was.
It's a good question. Difficult. How did you stay afloat during that?
So New York, so every state was different. So New York said as long as you had a DMV license, you can stay open. So we had a DMV license, so we stayed open.
So Department of Motor Vehicle?
We had a license. We had a number. A
DMV DOT?
Number.
Or not a DOT?
No, it's just a DMV authorized repair facility. So we were able to stay open.
Okay. I was like, DMV, you operated as a DMV?
I thought DOT, the DOT license.
Okay,
so we were able to stay open. We didn't have to close. And then
because you're technically like a mechanic.
Yeah, we can fix vehicles. Somebody, first responders, vehicle needed to be fixed.
So you were declared like essential.
Yeah, essential. And then on the interior side, we started making face masks for first responders and donating them. We made hundreds and hundreds of masks for all the state police, local police departments, Jersey, wherever. We were just mailing masks.
Custom face masks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have the interior. I mean, you're probably...
because you have all the material.
Yeah,
okay.
And then we set them up.
Yeah,
we went down to the city and met with the state police.
Yeah, just putting a logo on you probably had fun designing some of the stuff too, right?
Because we had this, like, some of the plaid material. The best ones were for, like, New York State Police because the plaid had purple and gray on it. It matched the uniform.
And perfect.
Yeah, it was just great.
That's sick.
So I wonder if and you were shipping these out to NYPD?
Anybody who wanted one, they just
I wonder if my brother-in-laws got some of that. Because they both work for NYPD, so I'm wondering if they, their precinct ordered a bunch or whatever.
Imagine there's a picture with GCD Auto on.
It might.
We didn't brand them.
Oh, no branding.
But they might have the. I mean, if the plaid one, if they have a picture of a plaid one, most likely.
So it was like fire departments, EMS, police departments. We were just whoever asked for them, we were sending them. And what we were doing was, so civilians or whatever, they would go and for every mask that was ordered, we would fund a free mask, and that's so people were buying masks locally. And then we would take that and make a mask for a first responder for free.
Oh, that's cool.
That's very smart. I like that because you're giving back, but it's also profitable for you because it's like, the cost of one mask probably funded the making of 3 masks or something like that, right? Yeah. And you're giving all these masks to the first responders, and people can order some custom ones.
It was a win-win.
It's a win-win. Yeah, that's
awesome. That's sweet.
See, that's smart.
So you were considered essential. I didn't realize not for lack of a better term, but mechanics.
Oh, people gotta get
cars. That makes sense, but that makes total sense now, right?
So what's the? All right, so I have a couple questions. I have 2 questions actually. What was the oldest car that you've worked on that you restored? Oldest one.
As far as restored or just worked on in general. Worked on in general, it was like a 1913.
What?
Like REO, call them REO Speedwagon or whatever.
A 1913.
Yeah, so we did interior on that.
I gotta look. Yeah, I gotta look that up. A 1913 REO.
Did it come with a horse and buggy too?
But the seat was stuffed with horsehair.
1913.
Is it
13,
REO?
yeah.
Like,
Right? It's
like
1913.
REO? Okay.
Did you ever work on like a
This thing?
Oh, yeah.
okay, so you pulled out. Mine wasn't working as well. Did you ever work on like one of those Duesenbergs or?
We did a 1935 Bentley.
That's sick.
Nice.
Did that have like a 12-cylinder in it or something?
It was a big motor. Yeah, it was the long. Yeah.
You know what's crazy too is I think I remember like reading it somewhere, but those cars, old Bentleys, they had like 12-cylinder, like just gigantic engines, and you would think, oh, 12, like now.
Oh, you think it's gonna
like
just,
Now you have a V12, like one of these who's got the V12 in it now?
Well, Mercedes has.
Mercedes has one. Does Aston Martin have one?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think so. You get these cars, these V12s, and they're like 200 mile an hour top speed. Like they're just booking it. Those old like
that's a lot of old
Bentleys, those 12 cylinders, they only went like 80 miles an hour. Like you'd think 12 cylinders, but they were like 10 liters or something, like some gigantic engine, and it didn't really go that fast.
All right, so someone who doesn't know about cars like me, so the big like V what is it, a V12, V6, V8?
Yeah, I mean typically American cars are V8s. You know,
so what is a V? What is?
What's the shape of the motor, right? The pistons kind of go that way, V shape, right?
Yeah.
Flatheads or inline six, they're inlines. I mean, it's pretty.
And
so
the
now
more,
you have
and
like
the more
the
numbers you have, is the faster,
More
more powerful?
Typically, it could be more powerful. Yeah.
Okay.
Aside from if you have any sort of like turbocharger or supercharger or anything like that, if it's just what they call it, naturally aspirated, you would have. It's like you have, your pistons when they go up and down.
Yeah.
So fuel gets injected. There's the 4 cycles of it, right? I don't know the whole thing, but there's fuel, there's air, there's a spark.
This guy knows everything. Like, he knows a little bit about everything. He knows a little bit about everything.
You'll have like the V, right? And they'll have like 3 pistons on this side.
You know what? I
on this
never
side.
realized. I've seen the engine, but now I've never actually looked at it. It looks like a V.
Yeah.
Now, how do you? I forgot if I remember what this used to be about. How do you calculate the horsepower? Someone always told me like it would take amount of horses to get to this speed or something like that.
I have no idea.
No,
I don't know.
No. Okay. I thought it was like 200 horsepower. I thought it was someone said like
it's some form of like the amount of power that this many horses can generate, and I think it went back because you used to ride horses to get someplace, and now you have a motor vehicle.
Yeah, now you just put on a dyno and the number.
But isn't there a engine like a W? It's a weird engine.
Now, are you a car?
What's it
Are you a
called?
car collector? Do you collect cars?
No, I've had cars, and they say like cars are like women, they come in and out of your life. You don't always stay with them, and I always feel like when we get a car and get attached to it, somebody wants it. Like that picture I sent you, that 66 Tempest.
Yeah,
that was originally Linda's car.
Oh, really? Okay.
And the client was like, "Hey, I want to build a muscle car." I'm like, "All right, we'll find you one." They were like, "No, I want that one." We're like, "Well, we're not selling it." He goes, "Well, I'll buy it." and then once we got it, to him, and he just said, just build it the way you want to build it, and that's what we wound up doing. So it was great. I mean, we got to build the car the way we wanted to build it.
So what's like what? I don't know if it's even a question, but like, do you have like a certain radius of clientele, or they kind of?
It comes from all over the country.
Do you ever do anything
anything
international?
Not the restoration. I get people ship parts in to get upholstered, like, and that comes internationally. So.
And what, people will just ship you their cars from all across the country?
Yeah, all over the country. Yeah.
Huh.
So what was the? So back to my oldest question. So you said 1913 REO was the oldest you worked on, but what was the oldest that you completely restored, whether it was a full restoration or resto mod?
Resto mod would be a 1931 Model A.
Full, like, found it in the junkyard somewhere?
No, this car was all original.
And it was in good shape?
It was in perfect shape.
Wow.
And
so
client,
why'd you even need to restore it?
Well, they were trying to sell the car as original, and they couldn't. So he was like, just customize it. So we chopped the roof 3 inches.
He couldn't sell it as original?
Because there's no market for Model A's. Like, it's just...
Was it a 19 what?
It's the old Ford, like the original.
It's actually on one of the shirts there on the
1931
back.
Model A.
See, I love those. Like, I told you this before we started. My dream car would be the Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. It's the GT 500.
Yep,
it's a 64,
68.
But I want to get a 2008 GT 500. That was the year I graduated high school, and I love the way that car looks. If money wasn't an object, I would get the 68, right?
You put it on top of the 2000.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I also have a soft spot for like those Duesenbergs, those old like mobster cars. They are like the Cruella de Vil car. Those are so sick. If you pulled up to any place, pull up to a restaurant in one of those cars, man.
Yeah, I'm not really like a car guy.
Where, like the roof is like, it looks like the window's like this big.
I'm good with like a Jeep Grand Cherokee or
Oh no, I mean Jeep Grand Cherokee I think is one of the best cars
no,
you can buy.
but you have like your dream cars. Like I don't really like. I'm just like I'm cool with like I guess it's obviously everyone has their own taste, but like I'm cool. I I do. I like the 2014, 2015 ish like the Stingray Corvettes.
Yeah, the Corvette.
Like, I think my dad has one of those.
Yeah, get a Corvette, man.
That's probably.
Well, if you want the Stingray, that's like what your buddy Al has. You have one of those older ones, like the one he had, the 60s and early 70s.
But I do like old cars. Like someone was like, "Hey, I want to give you this." Like,
but that one, that one, you'd probably bring it to him, get a resto mod, because if you drive that car now on these roads, you feel every bump.
Yeah, no.
Every single bump. It's a roadster, so you're literally going to feel everything. But you would get, hey, can you put some new suspension in it? Because this is...
Wow.
So now my other question is, what's the most expensive build that you did?
I would say north of 500.
North of 500.
Yeah. There's different reasons why people build cars or restore cars, right? One is it's for the value of it, right? It's a nut and bolt restoration. They know it's a rare car and they want to
try to sell it. Yeah,
they're going to try to sell it, right?
Put it up on one of those auctions. Those
yeah,
I've always seen those, which is weird.
Barrett Jackson.
Yeah, like you see these cars coming out, and it's like, oh, this car goes for like $20,000. I'm like, what? And then the next car comes out, $350.
Yep.
I'm like,
what? Yeah, it depends on the type of vehicle. I think the second reason I would say is it's a status thing. So they have buddies. The buddies have cars. They want a car.
Yeah, who's got the bigger dick? Yeah.
And then the third, which is the more common reason, is sentimental, right? It was my car in high school originally.
Yeah.
It's my dad's
uncle's car,
right?
Whatever. Yeah.
So those are the bigger client base because there's such a reason behind it there, and it's an emotional thing. So they tend to be more of the client than
and
others.
See, in that one, I feel like you get the most satisfaction out of those because seeing the person, like the Lincoln, right? It was somebody's.
It was a family
heirloom.
Uncles.
Family heirloom brought this in. Said, "Hey, listen, I don't care what you have to do. Like this was, I want to bring it back to back to life because it was a family heirloom." And now, when you finally bring them in and say,
huge.
And they look at it and they're like tears coming down their eyes because like this is what. Or if you have,
do you get a lot of criers when you finally show them?
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
That's pretty cool. That's a good.
Or like
this,
like if you have a like an old man. Right, and he's got a car that's been sitting in his garage for years, and he hasn't driven it. Right, and it was like that was his first. He took his wife out for the first date in that car or something, and he brings it to you, and you restore it, and he gets back into the car. It's like you can see them
huge,
rewinding 50 years, in the feeling of that car, and you're like, this is better than anything.
Do you do like I know you have a YouTube channel, but do you do like any documentaries of like documentaries? Is that a word? Documentaries, documenting like, hey, we got this XYZ, we got this XYZ car, super old, and from start to finish, and you see like the reaction.
Yeah. So the beauty of having our TV show, Married to the Rides, and that's on PowerTube TV, which is a streaming network.
Just gonna ask, where can you watch it?
PowerTube. Okay. Yeah, PowerTube TV. But it's also available on Roku, Fire Stick, Direct TV, so you can get to it easy. So the beauty of having the TV show going into our third season is we film everything. So we, from start of the project where it gets dragged off the flatbed to they take that first drive and living
you get to
memories,
see
everything.
Yeah,
The good, the bad, the ugly.
You're probably like a kid on Christmas when you see these like, this new a piece of junk car that just dropped in, and you're like, okay, you're like this. You're like, let's get going. You can see all the wheels turn. You're like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I mean, you look at. I mean, first of all, it's like this monumental task of, all right, we got to bring this thing back to life, and then And you always look for those winning moments, those different stages. All right, we get all the old paint off. You get the motor running.
That's probably
primer.
the best feeling.
Oh, yeah. When you do the first startup, it's like, it's huge because now it's like, the heartbeat's back.
It's either like the and it goes, and you're like, yes, or it's
Start again.
and you're like, son of a, what's wrong now? Because it could be anything. If you build it all the way from scratch, you're like, what do we not hook up, right? Is there a hose missing? Like, what happened?
Yeah, it can be a simple thing. But last season, season 2, we did this 1965 Mustang for a client from Puerto Rico. And the car was originally his parents' car. And it was in Puerto Rico. They took it to a shop. And they wound up, like, for years just taking parts off of it, not doing the restoration, doing subpar work. And unfortunately, the parents passed away. So now the guy ships the car to New York. Literally lives like 15 minutes down the road from us, and just by chance found us and brought the car, and we brought it back and got it running and driving. It still needs body work and paint, but
it's running.
Just like him sitting in the car, turning on the radio, starting it, and I got to sit with him as he took the first drive, and just the smile on his face.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
You're like, this is great.
Yeah, it was just
like, this
makes everything worth it.
Hell yeah, yeah. That's I feel like is the best feeling.
That's the best form of currency.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you that job, and it wasn't a big dollar job because it wasn't a full project, but that to me emotionally and like just the satisfaction, not to put down the bigger builds, but I got more out of that small
of course
project,
the sentimental stuff,
than a full custom build,
Yeah,
because
of course.
just that winning moment there for him,
Because I could see, like, if it's a really big, expensive build, the guy's probably like, yeah, all right, cool, thanks, that looks awesome. And,
Yeah,
but
if a guy's
like small like that, he's like, wow, like with Justin, like, wow, this is my parents' car, and like, this is amazing.
The sentimental value is so much more than any monetary value, right? Because some of these guys, like, if you got like, who's the guy out in Vegas who's got the gigantic car collection?
Jay Leno?
Jay Leno, right?
Really? I was just
he's in Los Angeles.
He's in Los Angeles. I was thinking
in Vegas, you got Counts Customs. He's got a big,
But you got these guys like Jay Leno that have just an absurd amount of cars, and he gets like some of these. He'll get cars that come in. He's got so much money, and he's probably just collecting all of these cars. Probably not. He probably has a few that are sentimental value, but these other ones that are just, he probably like, all right, whatever. It's
he
just
spends $300,000 on a restoration. He's like, all
it's
right,
just
this
another
looks cool.
Tuesday.
All right,
right?
great.
It's another Tuesday. But then you got these other people that are, this is the only one that they're going to have. It's not one of 100 in their collection. This is the only one.
100%.
And you get it back to working order. And
so how did you get to having your own TV show? How did you get approached to do that?
It was a chance situation. A buddy of mine, Terry, called and he said, hey, there's Downey's doing this show on HBO. It's called Downey Dream Cars, and the shop originally contracted to do the work was having issues because there were 6 cars that needed to be done. And would you be willing to do the interior work? And I was like, sure. And then he was like, yeah, I'm trying to get this person, that person. I'm like, hey, Terry, we do full builds now. He goes, oh yeah, I forgot. So he put me in touch with the producer, and they sent the first car to us, which was the Corvette. And then we started just blowing them away with the efficiency, the professionalism, and the feedback, and just the communication. It's amazing, like, the lack of communication in this industry between the builder and the client.
Yeah.
Whereas we approach it as a business, and there's emails, there's spreadsheets,
like
there's
everything,
calls.
every
It's like a
milestone.
business,
I think that's almost every industry.
Yeah.
The lack of communication, no matter what. Because I find what I do, just like you just said, simple as responding to emails, a call back, even if you don't have an answer, just letting like, hey, I'm not there yet, but it's on the to-do list. It goes such a long way.
And they were impressed, and they were like, oh, you guys are getting this work done. Do you want to do another one? I was like, sure. What do you got? Oh, we got this El Camino. Send it. Okay. So working on that, and they're like, hey, there's 3 other cars that they were working on, but they need to be finished. Do you want to do those? Sure. So at one point we had 5.
Twist my arm.
Yeah, we had 5 of the 6
You
cars.
giving me more
in the
business?
shop
Maybe.
And they're all they weren't all Robert Downey Jr.'s cars.
They were. The 5.
They were.
Yeah, 5 out of the 6 for the show were in the shop at one time, and then we developed this rapport with the camera operators, the audio guy, the producer, and just like the camera guys coming in, they're not producers, so they were so blown away, like how the shop ran, like just full blown shop, clean, neat, organized. and all the other projects. They were like, you guys should do a show. Like, all right. And then we started filming, and then we shopped it around, and we got together with PowerTube, and 23 episodes later, we're just cranking them away.
That's awesome.
Like what Eric had said is where the communication is. All these people come in, and you don't, if you're not communicating, then some people are like, hey, are you even working on my car or whatever? But then you get all these. Yeah. So the communication helps you get more and more and more cars, and then people are like, wow, this shop is running so smooth, unlike any other shop.
Yeah.
And then that turn leads into, we could film this shop because your shop could have been dirty, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, it runs well. Like, okay, they're doing, but I can't film this. Like, this is like.
No, you can because I watch some shows. And it's pretty dirty.
Yeah. But everything added into it. The service that you provided, the results, the cleanliness, the operation, it all came together. And like, you need a show. Like, you got to have a show here.
And that's what happened. And we just started filming. And then thankfully.
So you filmed it and then went to try to sell the whole show to somebody?
Yeah. Yeah. And then locally, we have a camera operator guy and he helped with the editing, the production of it. And he lives like 5 minutes away. So then he was like, I can either go to the city or I can come here and film. And
so how did you get those meetings? Just keep like sending emails out to people and making calls? And
it was funny because like the producer from the Downey show, he was like, he said the fastest way, he goes, just go to LinkedIn.
Really?
Like, all right. So I went to LinkedIn. I just started sending out emails and asking questions. And then
did you have like a trailer made?
I did. It's called Sizzle
I think
Reel.
I actually I think I just sent you a connection on LinkedIn actually today when I was a
They call it a scissor reel?
Sizzle Reel.
A sizzle reel.
It's a 2 minute, 2 to 5 minute. Reel. Yeah, it's just a hype video, like, hey, this is what we do. And we sent it out. And then, a couple of companies were interested. And we actually wound up getting interest from production companies, 2 different production companies that had existing shows on Motor Trend. And then we signed a deal with one of them, and then the big thing happened where Motor Trend went bankrupt. They shut down. So then no one was buying shows.
So you made this deal and then they shut down?
Yeah.
So you're just
so we're like, you know what? We're filming anyway, and we're self-produced. So we have our own equipment. We do all the post-production. We do everything in-house.
Listen, we know that bag. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of work that goes into that.
And you could probably appreciate because we tell people a lot. And now we're just doing a podcast. It's not a full TV show with all these different camera angles and everything, right? But still the same, process where people only see the end result.
Oh yeah.
They only see the one episode, but they don't see the hours of filming and the hours of editing and the hours of all this other stuff. So when people see the episode here, right, they only see the 1 hour that we do, but they don't see that, okay, there's all of the behind the scenes, not even just the editing, but planning to get you into the studio, maybe coming up with some topics, right? Picking a date, you traveling down here, then we record all this, getting the audio, making the audio sound good, piecing the audio, sending it to our editor in Europe, and then like
figuring out what to clip, watching
all
the
these
footage.
things go
get
into
the drone footage,
right? And then people say, oh, and then they see all of the reels, right? And Eric does a great job of posting the reels, but like we get these reels that it's not like it's automatically posted. Like every reel it posts takes 15, 20, 30 minutes.
A lot of work thinking of the caption for the podcast. Thinking of the title, I'm like, fuck. I have to I gotta sit down and like think of how I want to explain this episode, and
people don't realize like that.
It sounds stupid.
It sounds easy, but it takes time.
Yeah,
people like
and money too. Like
takes time.
Post production is the most expensive part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like because the filming part and capturing all the footage
is easy.
Is one thing, and it just
raw footage is easy.
Yeah.
It's the time actually going with the B-roll,
sit down and do the interviews because we'll do the interviews in a separate area, and we'll put them into the episode and then laying out the storyline, and it's just post-production is the biggest part of it, which was an eye-opening thing for us because it was like, we'll just do this little show thing, and it was
when we first started, man, mean, we would make like 30, 40-minute episodes, just us, and I remember we taught ourselves, Justin had a little bit of background of how to edit, but I didn't know how to edit, and it would take me like 8 hours just to like
to do
like a 30, 40-minute episode. My wife's like, this is obviously like 6 or something years ago. She's like, are you still like working on the computer? I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking figuring it out because we would do so much. Obviously,
there's a learning curve. You learn that a lot of those graphics, you don't need them. Yeah, right? So we kind of reduce the graphics and then we outsource it. And but it's this learning curve of it takes all this time to put together a decent episode. but we love doing it, and people love watching it, so we continue to do it.
Yeah, so we did the 23 episodes for the 2 seasons. They're 22-minute episodes, so half-an-hour shows.
How much
with
footage
ads.
did you film?
Oh, there's
hours, right?
And what's it called?
terabytes.
What's the
terabytes?
yeah, terabytes? Exactly.
Oh my God.
That's another thing. That's
Storage.
The
Oh
storage.
my God.
People don't realize.
SSD drives.
You
and
know
oh
how
my
much.
God.
4 terabytes hard drives from Amazon. They're
Like
pop.
it's not easy to.
Yeah, $600 a pop.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
No, it's not. And then protecting that data too.
And then people are like, oh, but I want it in 4K, or I want it. I'm like, do you know how much space?
Oh my God. Yeah.
We have, if we were to film in 4K,
it's 4 times as much. Yeah.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like
Forget it.
each camera would be over 100
Yeah.
gigs.
We shoot with Sony FS7, so they're the big production cameras, and with the big SD cards, and it's
each
very
SD card is like a terabyte more,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
10 terabytes, something like some ridiculous number.
And
You
then you
get
gotta
one
store
camera
that,
angle
yeah.
is like 500 gigs.
Yeah, so you got a 3 camera angle when you do the interviews, so you can go back and forth.
And the other thing that people, when we were doing the episodes ourselves, they didn't realize how long it takes just for the file to optimize in your editing software.
That's the other pain in the ass.
So you have this
And then
file,
what
right?
software you're gonna use?
You
gotta
gotta upload
Final
the-
Cut. You can use Premiere.
You got to upload the file, and now you have to wait. You have to upload it the night before and let the computer run so that it optimizes all of the, because you can't work on it while it's still uploading into
No,
the system. Otherwise, it lags. So you have to wait, and then now when you want to do 4K, you know how long it takes to upload 300
it,
gigs
bro.
of ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
forget it. There's a lot that goes into that.
So I want to ask you another question about going back to, your resto mods and all these things. Have you ever gotten some strange request to put something in a car? Like I was thinking about, okay, if I have a car, one of the things that I would ask is, can somebody put a humidor like in the glove compartment, or like the glove box, like the center console? Can you turn that into a humidor? Like, have you ever gotten some weird requests to
I
add
did
things
like
to-
a little fridge in the console, but on a Porsche, it was an 85 Porsche Cabriolet, and the client, Cuban guy, he's into cigars. So when you open up the bonnet, right, the frunk,
Yeah.
was we built the box. You open the box, it was a cigar holder, a little thing for lighter, cutter.
in the
in the front. Yeah, so
That's
That's probably the most expensive travel
But see,
box for
that
cigars.
stuff like I always look at some of these new, like the Rolls Royce, like some of the new ones. You look at some of these back seats that are just absolutely like the thing folds down and it's like
it's got a desk.
and then there's like a fridge that pops
the
out.
umbrella comes out the door. It's like
umbrella,
$10,000.
It's a $10,000 replacement that umbrella. But they have ones where it's like there's a champagne with. I'm like, this is nuts, all in a car.
Yeah.
Like now I know why the car costs $1 million.
Okay. Actually, one of the things we did for that client was this thing here. It's a little like this is my little cigar holder, and it's got the plaid on the inside.
it's
and
nice.
it's the leather on the outside.
See,
That's a job done.
Yeah.
See,
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we ultimately got here and how we ultimately got you on the podcast because
cigars.
Of the cigars.
Yeah.
Our thing is that we bring people together over a cigar. How did you get into cigars? How did that journey start? What was that like?
It was early on. Like I was probably 18, and my older brother Angelo, who's the oldest.
young blood started.
And he would hang out in Little Italy in the Bronx, smoking cigars, and I'm like, I want to hang out. And then, and my grandfather smoked cigars, like 3 a day, and he drank whiskey and lived to his 90s. So I'm like,
See, people, see.
Living testament.
and
Because are you all Puerto Rican? 100%.
I am half Puerto Rican, half Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I just wanted to hang out with my brothers, so I just started smoking cigars.
And how many brothers do you have?
I have 3.
And they all smoke cigars?
No, just the oldest one.
Just the oldest one?
Yeah. And
Are you the youngest one?
I am the youngest.
So the oldest and the youngest smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you guys still connect over that, or?
He stopped smoking.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That sucks. More cigars for you.
More cigars for you.
So I mean,
Do you remember the first cigar you ever had?
it was probably one of those It's a Boys. So I had to practice before I approached him. And I was like, and I always, I grew up in the South Bronx, so I go to the corner store. I'm like, oh, what is it, Philly Blunt, White Owl?
Black and mild. Yeah.
Dutch.
Listen,
I'm like,
listen,
I'll
man.
smoke those are horrible.
We did an episode once because some of the first cigars that we smoked. I mean, I always say, I ask the question, what's the first cigar you smoked? What's the first premium cigar you smoked, right? Because we all started. Like, you smoke the Swisher Sweets, you smoke the Backwoods, you know, these Philly Blunts, the Al Capones,
cherry wine
right?
tip, Black and Mild.
All those, right? But then you get into cigars, and you smoke, a premium cigar. So like my first premium cigar was a Romeo and Juliet.
That was my first.
1875.
Yeah.
Well, that was my first real cigar.
I think that was probably my first deal.
But you smoked these Swisher Sweets in the back, in college and high, you smoked. So we did an episode. We said, hey, gas station cigars. We're going to try them all.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we bought like $100 worth of gas station cigars, and we were trying, and they were all like, we puffed on them. I go, I can't believe I even smoked this. Like, you should have seen the ashtray. It was just one puff done, one puff done.
Yeah, it was bad.
Couldn't. Although the Backwoods, because I had like a small, like a place in my heart for the Backwoods, because I used to smoke with a buddy of mine. I used to go up camping, and they were, there's no filter on them. There was just tobacco, and they were flavored. And I was like, I kind of remember these. This is kind of nice.
I like.
You know?
I mean, I always smoked the Black and Milds. The cherry wood tip. I was like, no, this isn't that bad. And I used to inhale them too because you get fucking woozy. Oh, forget it.
So you had a Romeo and Juliet. It was the first.
That was
one?
my first premium.
Yeah, man.
And what you told me beforehand that you're more of a more full-bodied cigar.
Yeah, full body.
You like the Liga Privados and stuff like that. But
Great
and thank you for buying the blueprints and the diligence beforehand. But you said you kind of like the diligent more.
Yeah, it snuck up on me, and it's like for me, I have this thing where I can't just do something mildly. Like I gotta like overanalyze it, and like even down to the cutter. I'm like, one time I smoked the blueprint, I used the V cut, and then I used the straight cut on the diligent. And then the next time I used the V on the diligent and the straight on.
Trying to like,
I'm like, wait a minute. It might
Let me
be
guess.
the
You
cut.
got like a spreadsheet. You're like
do,
blueprint,
and I put
V
numbers,
cut,
and then I'm like, yeah.
I love
blueprint,
I do
V
that
cut,
with,
torch lighter,
cigars and bourbon. I do that with.
Yeah,
I have this little
blueprint,
folder and I write notes.
straight cut, match lit. Like all the
Never
different-
the punch though.
Yeah.
I don't believe in
Nah.
the punch.
Have you
Punch
ever-
is only if like an emergency. Like I have
So
no other resource.
You know my wife actually likes. She calls it the Queen cut, but it's a double V. So you do.
I do that.
So you
sometimes.
V cut the
Yeah,
one,
and
you
then go
V cut the other
yeah.
one,
Yeah.
and it got dubbed the name the Crown Cut because when you look at the profile, it looks like a crown. And my wife smokes cigars, and she calls it the Queen Cut because I was like the King Cut was the guys call it because it's a crown, and so she calls the Queen. But she likes that, and I started trying. I was like, it's actually
It gives you an easier
Yeah,
draw
it's
on
pretty
it,
good.
and the burn I think is smoother, But I mean, I prefer the V cut, even
I
though it gives me
typically
a hard
do.
time sometimes. But I'm like,
I always say, listen, like I do a lot of V cuts now, just because it all depends on whatever I have in my box. But I do a lot of V cuts. But I always said people always ask, what's the best cut? And I say, listen, personal preference, but I would say that a straight cut is the most versatile because you can cut any cigar straight. You can't punch cut every cigar. You can't V cut every cigar. If you have a Lancero, you can't punch cut a Lancero, but you can straight cut it. If you have the Torpedo, you can't punch cut a Torpedo, but you can straight cut it, right? You might be able to V cut it depending on how much the taper is. So I always say just get yourself a straight cut to start because you can do any cigar on the planet with a straight cut.
yeah, and if you got a box press, you can really mess it up with a
Yeah,
V
Right,
cut.
that's what I'm
doubt.
saying. So I'm
Absolutely.
like,
Which way do you go?
Yeah.
they had this
Do you
other thing.
smoke cigars on the show?
I do not.
Okay.
Is that like a
by
legal
design
thing?
or?
Might be a legal thing, right?
Yeah, I think it'd make it hard for us to sell the episodes.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
we do drink on the show, but it's not real bourbon.
Drink.
It's not bourbon.
It's iced tea.
Yeah.
That's really. So it's like Fugazi bourbon.
No, it's
No, it's bourbon, but it's you want some iced tea? Oh yeah, sure. Here you go.
Okay.
I will tell you a funny story. Is like we were filming like the first season. We did the wrap up of the show. We were in this restaurant. It was a restaurant scene, and Linda and I would sit down and kind of talk about the week, like husband and wife, and we would drink. She would have her wine, I'd have my bourbon,
Grape juice,
yeah.
iced tea.
and then we filmed 4 episodes at the same time, 4 wrap ups. And I was drinking the whole time, right? By the 4th.
Oh man!
No one said slow down. I was.
You're like, this job is fucking really good.
So when you look at those 4
Oh, yeah, the
episodes,
4?
is it noticeably different?
Yeah, she actually drinks the bourbon, and one time she's like, "Wow," and it's like.
So
and,
like,
and somebody goes,
oh.
and the guy off camera goes, "Hey, do you like being married to the rides?" And I'm like, "Absolutely."
you can
like,
see,
yeah,
you can tell.
A little bit looser.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
man,
hysterical.
that's cool because that's like an Easter egg for the episode.
Oh yeah.
Like whenever you're showing that episode to somebody, like, yo, See this wrap up? I was boxed, man.
Well, I thought you were saying, you put like iced tea in your cup and like what Justin was saying.
Yeah,
like you drink it like, oh, we're drinking, Angel's
That's
Envy.
what you should probably do.
Yeah. But
we did an episode like that.
Oh my God.
We did an episode where we were doing whiskey and like
scotch.
It was scotch and chasing it with beer, because we just had I had beer and I was like, we gotta have a little. We were tasting only scotch, and like towards the end of the episode, like you can visually see like we were waffled towards the end. It
was getting a little hairy.
I did with the Diligent, right? So one of our guys, he's the body technician there. He does all the body work. He's from Georgia, the country, and he brought in this.
Oh wow!
This brandy, right? And it was so delicious, right? So I'm smoking the one day, and I got the brandy, and I dipped the cigar, and I just draw it through. Oh, so
little sweet tip for you.
Yeah.
There you go. I like that. So you mentioned before, you were saying, your wife handles the restoration piece. You're kind of more the interior guy because you have more time. You can smoke your cigar.
Yeah.
So like walk us like in a day of the life of your day where you have time to like smoke a cigar. Like how does that transpire?
So I get there. I wake up every morning at 4. Take care of the cats, and then I do like a half an hour. I read scripture, and then just get myself mentally for the day. Get to the shop like 6:30. Get the guys set up. They're usually, some guys get there at 7 because some guys come from Jersey, so they do 4 10-hour days. So by 8 o'clock, we're cranking. Everybody's there. Everything's moving. Everybody's set up. And the beauty is we have such talented guys. They don't need to be babysat. We just manage the work, not the people. So by lunchtime, like 11 o'clock, I'm jonesing. I'm looking for my hideaway spot. Get my cup of coffee, my second cup of the day, and then I go and smoke a cigar.
You smoke a cigar every day?
I smoke multiple every day.
Damn.
Do you do it in the shop too, or no?
No, outside.
No,
Yeah,
outside.
we have like our shop in Florida, New York. It's beautiful. It's just such a nice area. So there's plenty of spots where you can just sit and smoke and relax. And
Now you said, this is totally off topic. You had said jonesing. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm jonesing.
Yeah.
That's twice that I've heard that.
That's so weird. So have I heard that like
Where did that come from? I mean, that means like you're buzzing, you're itching for a cigar. Where does that come from?
I just heard it because I watched a Charlie Sheen documentary, and he was talking about one of his friends who was on drugs, and he had it like savor, and she was like, "I'm jonesing right now."
Where does that come from? Do you know? I have no idea. I heard that twice, and I get what it means, but
what does it mean? Like you're itching to do something, right? That's so funny because I literally heard it last week.
Yeah, so I'll do the lunch smoke, and then typically around 3-4 o'clock, I'm going to my second one, and then my buddy, he comes home from work in the city, and he's like, "Hey, is it smoke time?" He passes through like around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm like, "I guess I'm smoking 3 today."
Hell yeah!
All right, you want to know where it comes from?
What's up?
So the term jonesing, it says most likely originated in the 1960s. It was a slang. So the word Jones, it says, or Mr. Jones, was used as a code for heroin. So it says in the early 1960s, a Jones referred specifically for a craving for heroin. The phrase "looking for Mr. Jones" was a way to find a heroin dealer.
Huh.
So it said when you're jonesing, it was like
Wasn't that a Guns N' Roses in a song, right?
maybe
Could be.
But I'm like, I always
definitely.
wonder where that term came, because I heard a buddy of mine say that too. He was like,
I just heard it literally last week.
he was just saying, he was talking, he's like, yo, I've been eating so clean for like 2 weeks, and tomorrow's my wife and I's anniversary, and we're gonna go ham. He goes, dude, I'm jonesing right now. He goes, I am so excited, I'm having everything. Like, and I'm like, where does that come from?
So you must have a pretty extensive cigar stash if you're smoking 2-3 times a day.
Yeah, I have a nice humidor at the shop, and then so like.
Is it a fridge? You have a fridge?
No.
Just regular humidor?
I'll tell you, like, the best thing I ever got was those Bovita packs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The pack in the Ziploc, the
What do you
Bovita
say?
Ziploc.
Bovita?
Bovita, yeah.
We got a funny story type about Bovita.
So, and I had one of those. So my lunch is like a last call. Nice, short,
Okay.
nothing too
AJ
big.
Fernandez, nice.
Yeah, and then the second one of the day is probably the Cohiba, the orange and black label ones. They just came out. Or Superfly. I love Superfly.
Another great one.
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
Another great one. So you like the last calls, remember?
Yeah, no, last call,
Yeah.
because they're like a dog walker
it's
type of
just,
cigar.
Yeah.
That's actually what we we're planning. So we have these two. We're planning a third one, which we haven't started sampling yet, but we're going to come out with a third one. But after that, we want to do a size up and a size down. And the size down, we want to make it like a dog walker, right? So it's probably going to be 4 inches. Now this is a 5x54. It's going to be
smaller gauge,
a 4x48.
Yep.
So it's like a last call, like one of those
Yeah.
little, because a lot of people, they love the cigars, but we've been going for an hour and 10 minutes and we're still smoking it.
Yeah.
So like if it's a lot of people don't have a place
to do that
in the winter, especially in New York where it gets cold
Yeah,
up
that's
in the
where I hit
Northeast.
the lounge. I go to the cigar lounge.
Right,
in
like
wintertime,
we have this place in here, which we have an AC, but I also have the heater, so you can turn this on and it warms it up, and you can smoke a cigar. But if you don't have that, you need a little dog walker. You want to have a cigar and it's freezing. You don't want to be out there for 2 hours.
No.
You want to go out for like 20 minutes, right? Get your little fix, because you're jonesing, and then come back inside, right? So the dog walkers are perfect.
Yeah.
Or on a lunch break, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, I'm working, I'm busy, I'm doing a resto. I don't have 2 hours to sit outside and smoke a cigar. I got 30 minutes for my lunch break, have a cup of coffee, get a cigar, back to work.
Yeah, I know if you're feeling up to it, I throw a little pot in the Nespresso.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
But the cigar smoking, it's a big thing. Like for me, like whenever I close like a really big client or a deal, I go to a nice either a Liga or something a little more,
Upper
premium.
echelon.
Yeah.
Opus X, Padron,
It's just,
something like that.
It just smokes better. Like, you just feel in there like you're like on
100%.
top of the
Yeah,
world.
man.
And even on a bad day, like a good cigar could make it,
See, that's
Way
one of
better.
the things that we always talk about, like reasons why we smoke cigars. We've done plenty of reels like it where you put a piece of, us smoking cigar and you go, these are the reasons why we smoke. And one of them is celebratory,
Yep.
right? Why? Whenever you have a baby, what's the thing that they hand out?
Yeah.
You want to have a
It's a
cigar?
voice.
Yeah, here's a boy. It's a girl, right?
It's a girl. It's a
I still
boy.
have my It's a Girl cigar for my daughter.
When you get married, what do they always have at weddings? Cigars, right? What do they hand out whenever you win a championship in pro sports? Cigars. They're celebratory. So when you get a big client and you finish this deal, or you have this wrestler you've been working on for a long time, you finally finish it. They turn it on. The guy drives out. Where's my stogie, man? I need to celebrate.
Bro, it's the best, and it's from start to finish. Like even when you don't have the cigar, like the pre-light is like exciting.
a whole
Cutting
thing.
it, toasting the cigar.
it's this
Yeah,
whole-
I tell you, dude, that
You get-
that is a great point because that feeling, whenever we get in here, right, and if it's a long day or whatever, I always look forward to Eric coming over. We get to film, we get to meet cool people. That when you first cut it and you get the layout, you get.
Hey, prepping it.
It's like you get this little feeling. I'm like, yeah, here it comes, baby.
Dude,
Like you get this little feeling.
the people who don't smoke cigars don't understand it. It's
And
it's a
you
truly
had said the other
great
thing too is
experience.
sometimes even when you have a bad day, the cigar can make it.
Yeah.
We had a gentleman on. His name is Michael Herklotz. You might, if you follow cigar pages, he owns Ferio
Tego.
Tego. He used to work in Nat Sherman in Manhattan. Okay, Nat Sherman went under. He had bought some of those cigars, like the Nat Sherman Metropolitan, the Nat Sherman Timeless. He had bought some of them and incorporated them into his brand to keep that line living on. And he had mentioned, he said, a lot of times some people, like we look for moments to smoke a cigar, right? Celebratory moments. But he said, you don't have to look for a moment. Make the cigar the moment. So in those days,
he just posted that.
Yeah.
He just
he
posted
did,
that clip.
He said it. We interviewed him in a live setting. We had an audience that was watching, and he had said that, and he uses it a bunch. And a lot of people resonate with that because he says, just make the cigar the moment. You can have a terrible day, but now you get your cigar. Make the cigar. That's a good moment.
The cigar is the moment.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times where I just sit down with my little porch and I'm just like, there's no reason, and I get the cigar. I'm like, this is fucking legit. This is nice.
Man. Plus, I think it's something that can bring people from all walks of life together, right? I mean, real
Amen,
estate
man.
guy,
Amen,
an
brother.
insurance guy, a financial guy, a car guy, and like
You got an engineer, a car guy, and an insurance guy all in one
Yeah.
studio.
And we
if
come together
you go to
to-
these
yeah.
cigar lounges, I mean, there's just everybody from different walks of life, and you
Exactly.
just have that one
say it
common
all the
thing.
time.
That's exactly why we started the podcast, is because people that don't smoke cigars don't understand. But when you go into a cigar lounge and you sit down, you have a cigar, you could be sitting next to the next Elon Musk, and the guy on the other side of you could shine shoes for a living.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's a bad profession. I'm just saying you could have two complete, and the guy across from you could be a blue collar worker in construction with mud on his boots, and the guy across the other way could be a businessman who owns a company. And you have four completely different backgrounds,
Yeah.
all having a great conversation because you're smoking cigars.
And I mean, our podcast isn't a testament to that, because if you look at all the different wide array of guests that we've had professional athletes, comedians, actors, mobsters, car guys, entrepreneurs, singers, you name it.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
We have everybody from, The Sopranos to winner of American Idol to NFL Hall of Famers,
Yeah.
right? Like it's anybody and everybody. And we've had, cigar brand owners that are young owners, like in their 20s, just starting out with their own thing because like they had a grandparents that owned this building and there's a whole story behind it. But that's the beautiful thing about cigars is you would never have those conversations, you know, outside. Like, and it's one of those things where there's kind of like, we always say, if you were to try to have a conversation with somebody, let's say, you know, take the cigars out of it and say like, hey, you know, let's go outside. I want to talk to you for a second. It's kind of got like a negative sting. Like, what do you want to talk to me about? A little
intimidating.
Right?
Yeah.
But if I said, hey, you want to go outside and have a cigar? We're going to do the same thing. We're going to have a conversation, but we're having a cigar. You're like, yeah, hell yeah, I want to go have a cigar. But if I said, hey, I want to go outside and have a quick talk.
Nah,
it could be a regular conversation, but you're like, why do you want to go talk to me?
That's something bad.
You know, it's something bad.
Yeah.
But now you add the cigar in it. It's like, oh, come on, let's do this.
Yeah, and from a business perspective, it's a great thing. It's kind of like being on a golf course. Like when you're sitting there smoking cigars, it just puts everybody on
golf?
the same. I do not.
Do you try to play golf?
I've never tried.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You would,
try.
I mean,
Try it.
I always say, like, people always, like, when we ask, do you play golf? And they're like, I'm not very good. I'm like, listen, don't have to be. Just, that's why I say go into these, like, golf outings where it's a scramble, where you have 4 guys, they all hit a ball, you pick the best shot, and you all hit from there. Because it doesn't really matter. You can slice into the woods as long as somebody puts it out, as long as you have one guy that can hit the ball. But you're out there, you're having a good time, you're whacking a ball, you're drinking, you're smoking cigars, and you're just out in nature, cruising around.
I got 2 out of 3.
Yeah, like,
I smoke and I drink.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just got to hit the ball.
And the best thing
Every
too,
once in a while
and
is
the best
okay.
thing too is like everybody can putt. You've played mini golf. Everybody can putt. Put the ball, just putt it. So it's like as long as you get to the green, once you're on the green, everybody's got a shot of making the ball, right? So it's like, okay, maybe you make one of them out of the whole day. And you're like, hey, I contributed there, but now I'm having a good time because I'm drinking, I'm hanging out.
I wanted to, Justin mentioned before, but we wanted to tell you this funny story about Boveda, right?
Yes.
Because we partnered with them a few months ago for their new humidor, which is right there. And
great humidor, by the way.
It's an awesome humidor, but this is no plug or anything, but we had to keep redoing the video because we kept saying Boveda, because everyone calls it Boveda.
Yeah. Everybody says Boveda.
Yeah. And they said, you guys have to do it over because you keep pronouncing it wrong. It's Boveda.
It's Boveda,
said,
not Boveda.
I said, I don't know anyone that calls it Boveda. And
Yeah.
they said,
say it that way. I'm like, oh, is that another brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what the other thing is too? That's similar to Adidas. You know, Adidas is actually Adidas.
yes, I actually did know
But
that.
everybody pronounces it Adidas because the guy's name was Adi Dassler, who started Adidas, and that was the name of it. But everybody calls it Adidas.
German guy, right?
I'm assuming Dassler is German, but
Yeah, okay.
it's Adidas, and everybody kept saying it's Adidas, and it's like no, it's Adidas. And
like,
there's a lot of company
Boveda
brands that are
thing.
like that they people just made it one thing, and that's not the way that it's supposed to be pronounced.
So
But-
what is it then?
Boveda.
Boveda.
So I'm gonna start calling it Boveda.
You're not. You're gonna switch. It'll
As
come
soon
out.
as
You're
you
gonna
go
say,
tomorrow, you're like, where's my Boveda
No,
pack?
I'm gonna do it in the cigar lounge. They're like, look at this pretentious.
yeah, like what?
But it does sound like it's a little
does.
more like
Yeah,
hunky-dory.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's a Boveda. It's not
You gotta
Boveda.
wait until somebody
It's
says
like Target.
Yeah.
It's Target.
Yeah, it's Target, bro. 100%. But like, I'm like, man, I'm like, what? I'm like, why are they? Well, I get it because you're asking us to do a service. You want to make sure we're pronouncing it correctly. But it's just so funny because I would look through different posts. And I'm like, everyone calls it Boveda. Everyone's saying Boveda. But it's just a funny caveat. It's Boveda. So shout out to Boveda.
So
Excellent product.
so you
they do
mentioned-
they do our
Yeah.
boxes. Yeah.
So you mentioned you're a whiskey guy, right?
Bourbon. Yeah.
Bourbon. So what are some of your favorite bourbons? Because I think if you're drinking alcohol with a cigar, I think bourbon's the way to go.
So I'm partial to a bourbon called Barrel because a buddy of mine started the company. We did marketing together. He went off and started doing bourbon. So it's Barrel Bourbon. It's
Where's it made?
Kentucky.
It is?
Yep. And it's blended. He was one of the first few that started blending the bourbon, like with different batches.
Subtle plug to barrel.
Yeah.
Barrel
Doesn't it
bourbons.
have to be in Kentucky to be called bourbon? Isn't that a thing?
No.
No?
No. It just has to be done in white oak barrels and
Okay.
more than 50% corn. So
Yeah.
those are the stipulations there, but it
Okay,
doesn't.
it's not like in
Champagne.
France. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
France it's not champagne.
It's champagne. So champagne technically has to be made in Champagne, France. But a lot of people are taking the vines from Champagne and planting them elsewhere.
I'm thinking of
No, it's Champagne.
Champagne, yeah,
France.
You're right. Yeah, it's France.
But I also think it's cognac too.
Could be. I know Champagne, France is like that.
Okay, I didn't know about that one. Okay,
It has to be made in Champagne, France to call it champagne.
I didn't
but
know
now
there
there's
was
like
Champagne,
caveats
France.
about it. But
I did not even know Champagne, France.
But I mean, my second one go to is Joseph Magnus. They're out in Indiana, so no, Michigan. So
really, I haven't heard of either one of those.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to see.
I like Angel's Envy and Brothers Bond.
Brothers Bond's good.
Brothers Bond's really good. And then
Alaska.
Is that a brand?
No, the Brothers Bond.
That's made in Alaska.
Alaska, yeah.
It's made in Alaska.
The Brothers Bond isn't the one guy from the company from that TV show
from
Twilight?
From the TV show.
That's made in Alaska.
No shit.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that either.
Wow,
I was looking at it with a blank stare, like, what's in Alaska?
That's pretty cool.
It's cold there.
Have you ever had Eagle Rare?
Yep.
Eagle Rare is good. A little sweet, but it's good. I like Eagle Rare. My favorite.
My
Angel's
daily bourbon, like where I make, I shouldn't say I make. My wife makes the old fashioned. Is Bullet.
Well, yeah, classic. Yeah, can't go
I go with like
Bullet or Woodford.
I go with Woodford.
Yeah,
Woodford's always. I like because a lot depending on where you go, right? Like if you're traveling, you're at some a bar. Some bars aren't going to have maybe some of the higher end ones like Angel's Envy or Eagle Rare or Blanton's or something like that. But most of them are going to have a Woodford.
Yep.
So it's like it's a good if you can get accustomed to having a drink with Woodford, like an old fashioned or Manhattan. Most of them are going to have it. Yeah. But if you rely on I only drink Pappy, well, you're gonna have to go to a high end steakhouse to get Pappy. Okay.
Yeah, there's a place up in Warwick, New York, which is like maybe 20 minutes from us, called the Last Whiskey Bar.
The Last Whiskey Bar.
It's it's a small little place. They have 8 pages of whiskey and bourbon.
Really?
That's cool.
From all different states, all different countries.
That. I like
that. That's cool as hell.
I'm working my way through it. I'm probably 4 pages deep. But,
Do you get a little plaque on the wall for trying every single bourbon?
There was a place like that in college called McGregor's that had over 100 beers on tap, and you got a card like a points card, and every couple of points you get like 10% off or $10 off, whatever. But they kept track. If you've tried every single one, you get a T-shirt and you get your name on the wall. And I never made it through it because some of them were just like ridiculous, like raspberry sours. I'm like, I'm not about that.
That's the big thing now with the breweries. These sours,
they get crafts.
So many IPAs too.
There's a lot of them upstate.
Interesting enough, the shop we have in Florida, New York, was a brewery before.
Really?
Yeah.
You find any nice little stuff?
Oh
shit! There's a secret stash right there.
Taking a sledgehammer to the floors and see,
Yeah, but also also upstate, depending on the town. Like I have a house upstate, and I'm close to a town called Margarettsville.
Oh.
And
it's kind of where I got married.
No easy way to get there.
No.
No. That's actually funny because I got married near Margarettsville. I got married in Roxbury, New York.
Yeah.
And straight shot from where my wedding venue was to his house, straight shot was like 30 minutes. Couldn't get there straight shot. You had to go around the mountain. So
I think I stayed at my house.
Yeah, it was like
around like the reservoir.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 15 minutes to get there because you got to go all the way around the mountain.
It's like 15 miles, but it's an hour and a half. Yeah. But what's his face? Who's the guy from Frasier?
Chelsea
Grammer.
Chelsea Grammer. Yes, I think it's there.
Is he still around?
Yeah. He opened up a brewery in Margarettsville, and people were up in arms about it. And I think it went through though. I think he has. I don't know the name of it.
That's crazy. You get some of these small towns. Like if people aren't familiar with upstate New York, there are a couple of big towns, right? I mean, obviously Albany is a huge town, right? Saratoga Springs is not as big as Albany, but it's a big town. But you have some of these smaller towns like a Margarettsville or like a Florida. I don't want to say it's maybe a small town, but
it's a little village.
It's a little village, right? Where my wife and I are looking at property up in I think it's Warren County. It's a town called Warrensburg. There was a little brewery that just opened up in there. And they're small towns, but these breweries, the beers that are coming out of them are delicious.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
And these breweries are popping up, and they got some great stuff in there. And you would never know. You'd be driving through, like, what the heck is this brewery? You pop in, it's this beautiful brand new brand. They got beer, all these different beers.
10 different beers on
and
top.
They're great.
Yeah. No, I love upstate New York. I love the whole ambiance about it. I've had a house up there for
a long time, right?
30 years.
Yeah.
And there's no cell phone service. We got like high fiber internet maybe like 10 years ago. Yeah. But that's
it forces you to like unplug and
Oh,
so I'll tell you
best.
a quick funny story about no service. It's just reminded me. So I'll tell you. So I'm looking at property up, kind of like Lake George area, Gore Mountain over there. So my wife and I were looking at the property, and we had looked at it before with the real estate agent, and then we went back the next day to do another run just to make sure that we were walking the property lines correctly and we weren't like looking at land that wasn't for sale, whatever. So we drove back there by ourselves, and there's no service, right? So because it's a piece of land, there's nothing on it. It's just a piece of land. So we park our car like in the kind of driveway cutout. It's like a dirt road. We park and we start walking around, and we had our dog with us. We left the dog in the car because the day before we took the dog around, and you're walking through like sticks and weeds and logs and all sorts of stuff, and our dog's kind of tiny, so we kind of had to carry her because she can't really get over the logs. So I'm like, honey, we're going to leave the dog in the car this time, and we're going to walk around. So we're walking around.
And leave the windows down?
Yeah, I mean, it was chilly out. It was like 60 degrees out, 50, 55 degrees, so it wasn't super. And there's really not much sun because there's a lot of trees. So I have the dog in the car. Walking around the property, looking, hey, we put the house here, blah, blah, looking at all stuff. All right, let's go back to the car. Let's go back to the car. And I go to open the door, and the door's locked. I'm like, honey, you have the keys? She goes,
I thought you had the keys.
You had the keys. I'm like, aren't they in your purse? You have your purse? She's like, they're in the car. And I'm like, our dog, hit the lock button when we left. She jumped onto the thing to look out the window and hit the lock button, locked herself in the car. So now my wife and I, with our son, our 8-month-old, we're standing outside the car. I'm looking in. It's completely locked. There's no cell service. And I go,
you didn't tell me a story.
I'm like, what the hell are we going to do? Like, how do I get my...
There's no keypad on your Jeep? You don't have
no. And it's not like OnStar. You can lock it from your phone or nothing like this. So I'm like, what the fuck are we going to do? So now I'm sitting here, and like and Kelly's like, my wife's like, we're going to get, she'll get it. She'll step on the button. She stepped on it to lock it. She'll step on it to unlock it. So like 80% of me is like, all right, we'll get it. But then there's 20% of me, I'm like,
we're going to be here.
Like, I'm going to be here a long time.
Have a cigar with you?
I didn't, right? And if I did, it probably would have been in the car. Yeah. So now we're sitting there and we're like taking like, come on, like you want a treat? Like Charlie, come on. And she's stepping on the door, but her feet aren't pushing on things. She's like pushing on the window button, and so we keep doing it for like 10, 15 minutes, and she finally gets her paws up, and you hear it unlock. And Kelly just grabs the door really quick. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
Damn. Talk about being lucky.
But I was like, I'm sitting there for that one split moment. I go, what do I do? I got no cell service.
Look for a rock.
Yeah.
Find the rock.
There was a small part of me that I'm like, I'm gonna have to break my window here. Okay.
So let me ask you about that. You know, Orange County. You know, you said you're from the South Bronx. How long ago did you move up? Obviously, I have a timeline, but what made you want to move up there?
How and why? How long ago and why?
I just wanted to get out of the city. It was I've been up in Orange County since 2001. Yep.
Okay.
Love it up there?
It's a different way of life, I have to say.
I love it up there.
Yeah.
I remember when we were in our house there, we moved in. My wife loves restoring old houses, so she bought a schoolhouse.
A schoolhouse?
Yeah, an old regional schoolhouse, and restored it, and we move in New Year's Eve.
Oh, that must have been
She's
exciting.
like, I'm getting in before the end of the year.
What cigar did you have that day?
It's probably.
I was gonna say, definitely had a good one there.
Probably an Alec Bradley or something. And so we move in, and I'm sitting there, and next thing you know, this siren goes off because we were across the street from a firehouse. I'm like, I thought they were dropping bombs or something. I'm from this city.
Tell me you walked in like, does that whistle go off every morning? It usually goes off quarter after 4.
So this thing goes off. I'm like, what is that?
What is this
like,
annoying whistle?
Like, oh my God, it's like a bomb siren. And she's like, that's the fire whistle. I'm like, what?
Lets people know it's time to wake up.
Yeah, she's like, no. She said, that's for the volunteers to come to the firehouse. I'm like, people volunteer to go into fires? Like, what is wrong with you people up here?
But being from
Yeah,
you said the Bronx or Brooklyn? Brooklyn? Bronx. So being from the Bronx, they tell me that scene popped in your head. Like, really loud whistles. I hadn't slept in 5 days.
Yeah, you said the train doesn't come till after 5, or
no, it usually comes quarter after 4.
Yeah. So fun.
Well, that's a train whistle. Lets people know it's time to wake up.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, I think I tell people a lot because whenever I travel, and people always see, like when you say, where are you from? I say New York, and they go, oh, near Manhattan, right? They always think of Manhattan, the city. And I go, listen, I got to tell you something. There are 2 parts to New York, okay? There is the city, downstate New York, and then there's upstate, like Catskills, Adirondack, Western New York. Said 2 completely different ways of life, okay? The concrete jungle is hustle and bustle all day long. People are rude. They got somewhere to be. They don't care about you. That's the way that it is. But if you go an hour north, 2 hours north, 5 hours north, way up there, totally different. It's slow. Yeah. People are kind. People are, hey, how's it? Like, it's completely different. And I said, so whenever you come to New York, it's like, go upstate, go into the mountains, into the lakes, and visit up there because it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. The people are very friendly. It's just a completely different way of life as opposed to Manhattan.
Yeah, it's a different speed. You know?
And everybody just thinks, oh, Manhattan. Oh, I said, listen, go see this other part of New York. It's so much prettier.
Yeah, even now, like when I go down into like the city and go to the Bronx, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I stay live here. I gotta get out of here.
I'm still the same. It's like I go to the same. Like fuck. I'm like, how do people live in the city? It's like I said. It's a mindset. It's a way of life, and it's just.
I always think of too the visual aspect of it. If you live in the city, everything's gray. It's gray. The whole everything. It smells. It's gray. It's concrete. It's steel. It's all day long that. But when you go to the mountains and you walk out of your house in the morning, you just got trees everywhere. It smells better. The colors change, right? You're gonna get the snow falling on the trees in the winter. You get green in the summer. You get all these different colors in the fall. Just visually, it's much more peaceful. Especially if you want to smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Sitting out there looking at the trees, listening to the birds, like.
Do you ever try to like organize any kind of like cigar events or try to like incorporate cigars with what you do?
Yeah, we talk about doing like a cars and cigars event.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
And that's
Cars and
we'll probably do that next spring. Do like a nice little, because I mean a lot of our clients do smoke, so it'll be a nice little event.
Would it be
you
kind of
need
like
a cigar vendor?
Yeah, right. You need a cigar vendor? Let us know. We'll set up shop.
We're cheaper than Fuente.
Podcast right from there, you know.
That'd be sick. You have a little setup, and all the people that, like I'm assuming it's like a car show. Everybody brings their car, and you pop the hood, and we can look at all the cars and you'd be like, and all the ones that you've done. Like we did all of these cars. So like if we did a car for you, you're invited to the show, and then everybody did a car. Hey, you want to come on for a 5-10 minute?
And the client base is so diverse, like just all different walks of life.
Yeah.
So it's
and then they could come on, and we could talk about it. So tell me about your car.
Tell me
about what Gil did to your tell me about your car. Tell me about what Gil did to your car and blah, blah, blah. And you have all these different stories of, oh, I got this. This is a collector's. Or I found this in a junkyard. Or this was my uncle's. You have all these different stories for one great episode. Cars and cigars.
Cars and cigars with
I like
Gil.
it, man. Yeah. I like it.
That's sick. So you haven't done anything like that, though?
No, not yet.
You want to do it, though?
I want to do it, definitely.
No, I mean, that makes total sense.
I thought about wheels and whiskey, but that probably would be frowned upon.
Yeah, that sounds like a DUI rated
house. Sponsored by New York State Police.
Everybody. There's DUI stops as soon as you leave.
Everybody brings
by like some DUI attorney.
It's like everybody brings their cars in, and then they all just leave them there.
Yeah, put your keys in a bowl because you ain't leaving.
I know, right?
Wheels and whiskey. No.
Do you know what's actually so that's funny that you say that, the keys in the bowl thing?
The Grinch, yes. I already know what you're talking about.
Do you know where that scene, like what that's from? The keys in a bowl?
Yeah, it's a swingers.
It's a swingers thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about this?
No.
I already knew where he was going without even him saying anything.
So there's a scene in Jim Carrey's The Grinch, right? Which is one of my, I say, probably hands down one of the best Christmas movies like ever made.
All time,
okay?
yeah.
Love that movie. There's a scene where
the Grinch comes
like, you know, when they drop with the basket and he drops on the front steps, and the parents are having a party, and they're all dropping their keys into a bowl in the party, right? Nobody's driving. Put your keys in a bowl. Put your keys in a bowl. Put your keys in a bowl. And I always find it funny because that keys in the bowl thing is a swingers party element where people would come, they put their keys in the bowl, and when you leave, whoever keys you pull out, that's who you leave with. So I always found it fun. Like, this isn't a children's movie. Like, it's like a subtle little plug. It's probably a funny little thing for like a lot of the children's movies. They put these adult comedy in there because the parents are watching it with the kids, and it's kind of funny. The kids won't know. But I always find it funny. I'm like, that's a swingers thing, and it's in the Grinch
100%.
movie.
I knew where you're going with that. So you're a cat guy. How many cats you have? 2 cats.
And they're both.
I was hoping he wasn't going to say 40. You know,
yeah, they're both shop cats. So
shop
we
cats.
We got them.
So are you a cat guy?
I'm a cat guy.
Okay, you are a cat guy. Okay.
They don't need you. They ignore you. They want attention. They get attention.
Yeah.
They're easy.
Yeah,
they're just there.
They don't require too much. You know.
Put the food down. Put the water down. Make sure the litter box is clean.
Pet me. Leave me alone. That's
exactly.
Do they stay at the shop?
No, they were originally shop cats.
Oh, they were originally shop
And then
cats.
they retired and went home.
Yeah,
So.
they threw in the towel in.
Yeah.
That's so. Yeah, I've always been a dog guy. The cats, because for that exact reason, I don't want an animal that just doesn't want to be bothered. Like I like the attention from the dogs. Like play with me. I want attention. Be here. I want to hang out with you. Like everything that you do. Like my dad's my dad's. He used to have 3 labs: Mickey, Creed, and Adrian. We have 2 now: Creed and Adrian.
All after Rocky movies.
Yeah. Well, we originally had 2 little Westies. It was Rocky and Apollo, and then we continued the trend. But my dad's dog, Mickey, who passed away a few years ago, was his favorite dog because he was a legitimate man's best friend.
He was a great dog.
He would work on the deck. He'd be there hanging out. He'd be working on the car. He'd be there hanging out. He would play fetch for hours. He would swim. The ultimate man's best friend. So that's where I fall. I can't do the cat thing.
I always said so. He had those 3 dogs, right? He had the 2 little ones, Rocky and Apollo, and then he had Mickey, Adrian, and Creed, right? And Creed, so Mickey was like a chocolate lab, right? Adrian is just like a gray lab, right?
Adrian is a silver,
and then Mickey is a black lab.
Creed is a charcoal.
Creed's like a charcoal lab. I always said, dude, you need to get a golden lab and name him like Ivan, like Drago. I was like, that's.
Well, by the way,
my dad
almost just got another lab. By the way,
you got to get a golden one and name him Drago.
He almost,
come on, the
almost
blonde
pulled
Russian.
the trigger. He has more kids in his house.
Come on.
He almost pulled the trigger. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting another lab. I'm like, what do you mean getting another lab? I'm like, you got 2 already.
You got to get a blonde one and name him Drago. That just
I was like, bro, I'm like, Dad, you want another lab? And he's like, well, my one of my buddies, his wife doesn't want the dog anymore because they're having a kid. He's a great dog. He's like, I'm lined up like the second guy. He's like, there's a guy already. If he doesn't want it, then I might look at it and take it. So
you get a full, like you have a charcoal lab, then you get like a
too much work, bro.
a black lab and name him like Mr.
That's one
T.
thing with cats. Cats aren't a work. I mean, the labs at least.
Yeah, but your
hundreds of pounds of dog food.
Yeah.
$500, $800 every time you go to the vet. Forget it.
You gotta walk it.
You gotta walk.
You go away.
Like, that's another thing. Like if you live in an apartment or
what are you gonna? Yeah,
you can't have a dog.
You shouldn't.
You should not. 100%. Cats. Okay.
Like in the city. Go back to the city. How can you have a dog living in the city?
People have them.
Oh, plenty.
Imagine the dog's paws just walking on concrete all day long. Like there's no grass.
No,
you can't just.
That's a rough and tug.
And I want to take the dog out and be like upstate. Just go run. Go.
So what's the next biggest thing? What's in the works for GCD?
We're at an hour and 37 minutes, by the way.
Damn. Okay.
So the next big project we have is that 1955 Chevy hardtop. It's a full custom chassis, supercharged LS. It's going to be a full-on.
What's LS mean?
It's just a model type of the Chevy motor.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said it a couple times. I'm like, what is that?
Is that going to be on the show?
It's going to be on the show. Yeah.
Okay.
So right now I think we got the first 4 episodes footage-wise wrapped up, and then we just got to do a couple of reveals, big scenes, like with the Lincoln. We're going to do a scene at a restaurant where it's like a black tie event. You pull up, the suicide doors open.
Sick. Who comes with all these ideas? You?
It's a combination. No, yeah. I mean, Joe came on, and he's doing a great job as far as helping us with the story production of it and just coming up with the reveals. We're going to do a bowling event where the interior team's going to go against the full build team. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Are you trying to get it? Are you trying to get the show like on a major network, like a Discovery Channel?
Yes. Yeah. Discovery seems to be buying shows now, so that's ultimately what we would like to be. Yeah, is on
that would be
major
awesome.
Network. Yeah.
That would be sick.
Or like, what's the other show? Is it A&E? A&E does like the Storage Wars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be on one of those.
Yeah, definitely an A&E.
What is that? Arts and Entertainment? Is that what A&E stands for?
Yeah, Arts and Entertainment.
Yeah.
I actually never knew that. That was actually good.
What was your favorite build? Do you have a favorite build?
The next one.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
That's like, what's your favorite cigar? The next one.
Did you ever build something for yourself?
I've had a Camaro. I've had an Impala. Right now, I joke around. I'm like 7 years into my 3-year build. It's a 1970.
Well, you have all these other projects, you know.
Yeah. It's a 70 Riviera. My dad had a 70 Riviera. So again, this is.
It's like you build it, but then it's like somebody comes in the door. Can you build mine? Yeah. Okay, I'll put that on high. Then you have a week. Oh, I'm going to work on mine. And then somebody else comes in. All right, can't really finish that. I got to do this.
And it happened the same way it happens to clients. Like I bought this car, 60,000 original miles. Car was drivable. Everything was fine with it. Not a dent, not a scratch. I was like, I'm just going to take the drum brakes off and put disc brakes, make it safer. well, if I'm going to do that, I just change the wheels. But if I'm going to change the wheels, I should do the suspension. Next thing you know, I got a full-on custom chassis, independent rear.
Next thing you know, the whole car is ripped apart, and it's like
it's primer now. Now I'm tucking the bumpers in, getting rid of the door.
There's always a little.
There's like another idea. You're like, I'm going to do this. Oh, but it would look sick if I did it like that. And do it like this.
So now it's sitting there, And but I'm committed to SEMA 2027, so 2 years.
Okay.
SEMA.
Do you have? Is that like your dream car, or do you have a dream car that you're?
I gravitate more towards like the old 190 Mercedes, like 58, or early Corvettes, 53, 54, earlier Porsches, like the 356s. So I like more of like the older cars.
Yeah,
so.
those old Mercedes are really nice.
They're beautiful.
Those are really nice.
But I want to like take the body off and put like a brand new Mercedes motor in it and chassis.
Did you ever see those? Those are the old ones where they had
like what's old?
So
some of them had the gold wing doors.
Like the 40s, 50s, 60s.
No, like 58.
Like a 58, but they were. That was back when they still had the Mercedes emblem like on the top of the car.
Yeah,
and now
you could push it and it would move around.
Now it's like embedded into the hood. But I always thought those were so cool. Those here it is, 58 Mercedes.
Yep. Yeah, it's a 190. I like the convertible one.
Oh,
those
are like super classic.
Those are so cool. Yeah. These are the kind of cars. You know what these remind me of? These are like the wedding cars.
I was just gonna say that's like when you get married.
When you get married,
I think my brother got married.
Yeah, but if you look up a 190 SL, it's full on like sports car. Like it looks.
Have you worked like on any besides Robert Downey Jr. but any other like celebrities or like big time?
We do.
There you go.
Stuff
what
for,
color?
Funkmaster Flex.
Oh, like this, like this one.
Sick. Yeah, that's
sick.
That is so sick. Yeah. This reminds me of what is it? A
Funkmaster Flex Night. All right. So what kind of cars? What kind of cars do you do for him?
Impala, Roadrunner, and then a Chevelle. So
cool.
Just the interiors,
And then obviously it's probably a lot of word of mouth and just reputation. But how do people find you? Or
reminds me of this one, a 62. That's the
Corvette,
62 Corvette.
It's the same body style.
It's like the same thing.
That's sweet.
I'll tell you, social media has been the biggest thing for us. Like Instagram, it's like every day I open up and there's like, hey, I got this project, I got that project, and
you get overwhelmed with like all the inquiries.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun part is going and talking to people about projects, but then the other part is like the hundreds of emails we get from people all over the world, mostly in like the Middle East, about wanting jobs, and I'm like, I'm not hiring outside of the
wanting
United
jobs.
States.
Really?
They want you to get a visa for them and like bring them to the U.S. and like.
Is that a scam thing?
No. I was like, we don't hire outside the U.S.
Can you send me $20,000, please? And then
hello, dear sir.
Oh my God, that's
like,
hysterical. No. Yeah, no, we can miss.
Are you hiring anybody?
We are. We're always looking for talent.
Always looking for talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Across the board? What kind of
every position.
Every position, man. Yeah. So listen, if you're out there, if you build cars, if you like cars,
if you got your own shop,
if you want to sell cars.
Yeah, right now there's 14 of us, and we're looking to add on. So.
Do you have like salespeople or anyone that like goes out and tries to bring clients in, or?
That typically falls on me to do that. But right now we have like a 3-year waiting list, so it's.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so we're just trying to like
manage it.
So that's another question. That's like, you get all these inquiries, DMs, emails. Like, how do you pick and choose like what's worth your time?
It's a delicate process through conversation and talking about the build, because it's a big financial commitment.
Yeah.
And it's a big time commitment, right? Some of these projects take years. And you got to make sure you pick the right client that can see it through all the way, because you don't want something 60% done and then they have to pull the, pull the project,
to make sure that they can fund it.
Yeah. So it's
a
process.
Do like a lot of qualifying questions.
Almost. I mean, other than like giving them a spreadsheet, you kind of do it through conversation, and you make sure that they're.
You can kind of tell, like, how serious you about this build? Because listen, it's going to take 18 months, and it's going to cost $400,000.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's probably. You could tell me, but I feel like it's probably one of the more stressful parts of your job is like scheduling everybody, making sure they're from A to Z.
And you know what? Cars don't cooperate. So you have this schedule in your head, and it's the motor. There's something wrong with it, or you can't get a part, and then it delays the project, but you got another one coming in still. So, but I mean, we pretty much have it down to a science where it's kind of like this revolving process of. Cars just coming in, cars halfway through, cars that we're wrapping up. Those 2 get wrapped up, 2 new ones come in.
So it's a constant, like an assembly line. Yeah. You ever have some
And that's the beauty of having everything in house is we can control
You
that.
can control
Yeah.
it. Yeah, you don't have to rely on somebody else. Like, hey, listen.
That's probably would even be more stressful relying on other people and doing
because you're like, listen, I want to finish the car in a week, and I was supposed to get it last week, but I haven't got it because they're still finished.
because Jerry's out sick for a week or whatever.
Do you have any? I mean, we're coming out to the end of your hour and 45 minutes, but do you have any like horror stories? Like building an engine and like you dropped a bolt into a piston or something. You have to like take the whole.
Or even a horrifying, like a client that's like a nightmare.
I mean, the clients are the best part of the business and the worst part of the business. So, I mean, you could get, I always say, like, I had this one client who was really demanding and just not the nicest person. And then, I said to the person, I said, you know what? I said, you're confused. I said, I do work for you. I don't work for you.
Yeah,
I said, it sounds the same, but there's a big difference.
Sure.
I'm a contractor, not an employee.
Yeah.
Of yours,
So
okay?
you just have to establish that relationship and,
Any horror stories? Any like builds that just went completely awry?
Some, they don't cooperate all the time. Some go smoothly, and then, the worst is when you kind of get to a certain point and you have an issue and you got to go back and fix it or change it, or the client changes their mind halfway through and now they don't realize, I'm going to go from an automatic to a stick shift. Well, that's different now. We got to change
I already
the tunnel.
I already did the transmission.
So it's like the tunnel inside. Now the console is not going to fit. So there's a lot of those things where it's just, my buddy said I should do this. I'm like, well, give me your buddy's number.
Well, what was like the biggest throughout your whole journey of your business, where it was like not like an aha moment, but like your biggest lesson? Like, shit, I got to make sure this is a big lesson that I learned from to make sure that never happens again.
I think you gotta. You learn every time you do a car. You learn something different, and the thing you learn, which is it's a hard lesson to learn, and you can't let the client push the timeline because you wind up speeding things through.
Yeah.
Where like body work is really key. Like, so we do the body work. You go into what's called a high build primer. It's like a thick primer, and then you got to block it down. You got to let it cure. So a lot of times the projects, you put the primer on, you let it sit for 2 or 3 weeks, and then you sand it down, you reprime it. So there are steps involved. And then when you get a pushy client sometimes and you want to speed up the process, it could come back and bite you in the ass because you didn't let the primer cure. Now you painted it, and now you can start to see things through.
So it's like you don't rush the process.
You can't rush.
You
the
gotta
process.
like
Yeah,
the timeline is the timeline.
Yeah. So early on, you're trying to please everybody, but then you get to this position where it's like,
You know what's right.
Yeah, it's gonna be the timeline.
Like certain things, I feel like you can speed it up by maybe working an extra hour or two that day to finish like the wiring of a sound system or something like that.
And the key thing is
But other
putting
things
the
gotta
car
wait.
together. Mocking up the car, fully building the car in primer, putting all the headlights on, the door handle, everything together. And they're like, it's a waste of time. You're gonna take it apart. Yeah, but I know when it fits. So when the car is painted, it's gonna go back on. I don't want to wait till it's painted to. The taillight doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It's a little off.
Got to make sure everything fits. Yeah.
Do you have to use any kind of like engine, like a engineering platform or something to like
AutoCAD or something
yeah,
like that?
exactly. Like
I will say on the interior side, it's getting more digital. So we have a 3D scanner. We have a laser machine where we can cut parts. So the interior part of it is really getting technical now, where we're doing like really high and handcrafted interiors with
But the engine is still.
The engine's the engine.
Still got to build it. You can't 3D print parts on that.
Yeah, actually, we use an engine builder out here in Long Island. So,
no shit.
Bobby Bueller. So
Bobby Bueller.
Bobby Bueller.
Bob the Builder.
Bobby Bueller.
Beautiful motors. He does a great job, and they work every time. So
Shout out to Bobby Bueller.
What's the biggest engine you ever did?
You get Chevy big blocks. So you get is something called like a 555 motor. Now GM's got a 632 motor. So
Do you ever work like on like commercial vehicles, like trucks or anything like that?
No.
It's just all cars. Okay.
Yeah, we put a Gen 3 Coyote motor in a early Bronco, like a 72 Bronco. So it's like
that's
600 horsepower.
That's the cool stuff where it's like you're put this in that.
Yeah.
Like if a client comes in and be like, hey, listen, I got this. It's a Ford Model T, and I want you to put this V12 in it. You're like, okay.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'll figure it out. It's kind of like your Frankenstein.
But then see, that's where the challenge comes in, because it's like, all right, well, if I got to do that, like you can't just take the engine out and put the new engine in.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of engineering.
Like now I got to redo the transmission. I got to redo the suspension. I got to redo the brakes. I got to do like the drive. Like all these things, I have to redo some of the maybe some of the hoses and stuff because
some of the frames.
It's not going to be able to handle the power. I got to, because you could put that engine in there, but as soon as you punch it, you just rip it right off the chassis because it's got too much torque. So it's like you got to do all these things, which makes it fun. It's like a puzzle you got to figure out.
Do you ever come across, and you kind of touched on it already, but like clients, like with contractors, right? Like sometimes like when you're fixing on your home, the people that like sit in your bathroom and watch you work and like, oh, why are you doing it like that? And, why are you doing it like this? And why are you doing it like that? Do you have like I'm assuming no, because you probably set the ground rules, but like clients were like, why'd you do it like that? Why don't you do it like this?
I mean, in time you had some people that would, they thought they knew everything and they would kind of give you advice. And
one ear went out the other.
Yeah. Sounds like you know what you're doing.
You're like, you see that? You see that right there? That's the door. Go out and don't come back till I call you, okay?
No, I can see that.
Like you would say, like, listen, I do work for you. I don't work for you, okay?
Yeah. That's a good point. But, Gil, my friend, we're coming to the end of the podcast here. We appreciate you coming on, smoking a blueprint, drinking a cup of coffee. At this point, kind of like to give you the red carpet, where we kind of been plugging them the whole time in this podcast, but now it's dedication time slot where you kind of plug away shamelessly, let the people know where they can find you, anything that's coming up, any projects or events, just shamelessly plug away and free advertise, expose.
Yeah. Excellent. So it's GCD Auto Studio in Florida, New York. We do resto mods, restoration. We also service classic vehicles too. So all we work on is classics and customs. So you're not going to see a daily driver in there. They can find us on Instagram. We have 2 Instagram accounts. One is Gillin Interiors, and the other one is GCD Auto Studio. And then every Sunday night at 8 o'clock on PowerTube TV, they can catch Married to the Rides.
Married to the Rides. Make sure you check. I'm going to download it when I get
on
home.
PowerTube, which is also available on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, any smart TV. You can download the app on it.
I have Roku, so I'll download that because I'd be interested to watch. Because I was trying to watch it. I can find stuff on YouTube, but I just saw like the clips and stuff.
Can you get it online? Can you just go on?
Yeah, you can get on your phone. You can get on the computer.
Yeah. Okay.
It's PowerTube TV. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and all 23 episodes of season 1 and 2 are on there.
Awesome.
Love it.
Appreciate you coming down, brother. Thank you so much for your time.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And maybe we'll see you at a Cigars and Cars, not a Whiskey and Wheels event.
Be on the lookout for that. So listen, if you guys like this episode, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us, share it with a friend, follow GCD Auto Studio. And listen, we love you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one. So, Eric? As we like to say, Gil on the show, cheers, chin chin, and salute, my friends. Thank you.